G'day, hobbyists. Anthony from AOS Coach here, bringing you the next Road to CanCon episode. And oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. We have 3 weeks to go until the big event. If you're not freaking out and if you're not going crazy because you are realizing the amount of painting you have to do, practicing you have to do, terrain you're building, you are in a better position than I am.
Yeah.
At least I don't have to buy a whole army.
Well, we'll get into our games played and our lessons learned. I was playing today at in Wollongong at Adam Kakwa's event, and Ben Spinetti was driving me back, and we were talking about armies, and I was like having a bit of a whinge, like, oh, it's so hard to know like what army I want to run, like it's Moon Clan. He's like, dude, you know this was coming. This is your fault.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
And I'm like, Ben, but you know, all these new units and his book, and he's like, well, you can run your old stuff. I'm like, well, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I want the new stuff. So he's kind of put me in the place. I'm hoping the world of the internet is sympathetic to me, and you know, will shed a tear.
I'm getting on the internet.
I'm hoping you guys are sympathetic. But while I bring up the chat, let's throw it over. Who do we have on this wonderful stream? Let's start from left to right. We have Andrew Bigwood. How are you, legend?
Pretty good, man. The army list is changing as we speak, as I work out what I'm going to be able to get painted or not. But other than that, pretty good.
Awesome. And then next to Andrew, we have the big man from Port Mac. We have Dayne. How are you, legend?
I'm good, buddy. How you guys doing?
This is going to be a running joke for the rest of Road to CanCon.
Oh man.
I hope you like the name Dayne.
You have to say it every time.
I'm going to keep saying.
Wait. What is it? Is it just Dayne?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I honestly thought it was Dayne.
You can keep it going. Just keep it going.
I reckon like every opponent's like, oh, I've heard of this Dayne guy. Like, are you Dayne? And you're like,
yeah, I'm that knob.
You are. So, who else we got on the line? We have a new person. I'm so excited. There's actually a couple of new people. So we have Elisabeth. Elisabeth, how are you? Who are you? How did you get here?
I'm Elisabeth Lockheart. Most people just call me Evie. I've been in the hobby for 2 years now, and I run Legion of Blood.
Very, very cool. And off stream, Elisabeth was showing me some of her cool female vampire conversions, and she's got an awesome Neferata that she's put up on Twitter in the past. So maybe we'll get some sneak peeks, or maybe after the show, you can go check out her Twitter because it is on point.
It's not really Legion of Blood if they're not female vampires, though, right? I mean, it's Neferata and all her ladies.
Yeah, I've even got Isabella von Garstein, so yeah.
I love it. Look, Manfred is still the man for me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Clint would agree with you on that.
I've got Clint's backing. He always gives me extra tournament points when I run Manfred.
Yeah.
I'll have a chat to him about that.
We've got from Tasmania himself, we've got the Egyptian king, not Setra. We have Randy. How are you, legend?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm actually in a really good place. I finished the last model for my army 2 days ago, so now it's just working on terrain. So, yeah, I plan to get everything done for SmorgonCon, and that extra pressure got me ahead, which is good.
Wow. Wow. So I was thinking, like, I was talking to Elisabeth. She's like, "Oh, I'm just doing my skellies and I'm done." And I'm like, "Am I the only one who hasn't got a fully painted army?"
Well, you haven't got an army yet either, have you?
Well,
you still got to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Technically, I got an army, but
have you done your pre-orders yet? At least
I have done my pre-orders. I've done. I dropped a good amount of cash today, and I'll drop a bunch of cash tomorrow. Next week.
Nice.
And what's really cool is my birthday on Friday coming. So everyone's asking me, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm saying vouchers or Moon Clan.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they don't know what Moon Clan is. So
Nah, they got no idea. They type it into Google and it brings up the Bad Moon Rising from Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh,
Needs more cowbell.
It needs more stabbing in the knees. A man who does plenty of stabbing on the knees on the internet, Liam. How are
Hey
you?
guys, what is up? Yeah, I had my session today, and now I'm going to retire for a little bit of stabbing the knee. But yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
Sweet. How is everyone? Yeah, I think it's my third time here now. I think so.
Mate, you're basically becoming a regular. I might as well just have you on the stream full time.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey. But yeah, I've been good. My list changed today, which is exciting. Magro's seen it. So and he's so happy with it.
We will get to list very soon.
Yeah.
So and there's a bit of a story to this list, and it makes me sad. Very sad.
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Literally building the last model now.
Somebody who doesn't make me sad is my streaming co-host from the Masters, Travis. How are you?
Howdy, good. I'm doing all right. I'm going to spend the first 20 minutes of this on mute while I use a Dremel, because apparently I'm allowed to make loud noises. But yeah, we're going all right. We're chugging along. But still got one model. I only had one model to paint for this in the first place, but still got one model to paint. And there's a display board in various states of assembly over in the corner there. So yeah, coming along all right.
I know you got a fancy camera. Can it tilt to the display board?
He's got the remote.
He's got a remote on his camera.
Oh,
This
that's
guy
ridiculous.
is a professional.
I don't want to put effort into this, all right? I can't even see.
that's like more effort.
Horrible. You're not going to be able to see much. Let's get that out of the way. So there's like, all right, hang on. They ain't making me move here. It's difficult. Okay, what am I pointing out here? So there's like this is the indoor section. So there's like, which side's which? It reverses it, and this is freaky. So there's like a circular bit here where this is going to fit, this being this weird crystal thing that I bought online. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. And then on the other side, there's a realm gate, which matches the GW one. So it's got like the spirally, I don't know, whatever you call it, pillar stuff. So I've made the same thing there. And then there's not in there yet, but a red bit that will go up in. There's a hole in the bottom of the board at the moment. And then on the other side of the board is the outside of the scene, essentially. So it's an indoor-outdoor kind of thing. So that's what we're up to.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, no, it's come along pretty well. I knew that this part was going to take, like that part was going to take the longest to figure out just how to do it all. But the other part's pretty easy by comparison. So hopefully should smash that out over the next couple of days and then just be up to painting it, really.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's kick off. What are we currently working on? So, Elisabeth, I know you are currently working on Skellies. And before I throw it over to you, I'm going to apologize. You are going to be called Lizzie or some nickname by the end of this show. It wouldn't be Australian if I didn't give you a nickname.
It's all good. Most people call me Evie, but Liz is fine.
Evie it is.
Yeah, the tribe has spoken. So what are you working on? Tell us more.
Okay, well, over the last month, I've been figuring out my Legion of Blood list and really figuring it out. And about a week and a half ago, I sort of had that epiphany moment, you know, when you get and you realize, shit, you know, it's okay for me to swear. And everything lines up and you just go, yep, this is the list I'm taking. You've figured it out and you know how to do it. And now it's just painting 30 more skeletons to get it done, and that's it. I'm not happy about it because I used to run Skaven, and painting giant batches of model does my head in, and I'm sick of it. But here I am again. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Except for the Skaven part. I'm not a fan of Skaven.
I love him. The whole lore behind him's brilliant, and yeah, I can't help it. I've got like
I mostly say
10,000
that because you tunnel under my empire and you you
Burn things.
you burn things and you gnaw at my electrical cords.
Just wait till they get they get a book to do the same sort of thing that the Grot one did. Put them all together. I think Honest Wargamer, on one of the latest ones, they were saying that was what they reckon's going to happen. Skavens on the cards. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I am and I'm not. It causes me to have to paint more.
We've had a special guest drop in, a man who probably needs no introduction. Say hello, folks. Who is this?
G'day, everyone.
Oh my god, no way! My favorite South Australian.
I'm
You
happy
okay
to see
there,
you.
Liam?
Happy to see you as well, Liam.
I'm always happy to see you.
So for anyone who doesn't know who this man is, a legend, you should be subscribing to his YouTube channel. We have Michael Doom and Darkness, King of the Gutbusters. I
feel like
Mr. Guts.
I feel like you want me to say something now.
Yeah, that was the hint.
Right. Well, what's everyone doing? I haven't caught up with the show up until now. I just jumped in. I'm painting up some terrain for my display board, and I'm almost done. I'm like a bee's dick away from being ready for CanCon, I should say.
Very nice.
So what else are we working on, guys?
Yeah, I'm currently converting up a branch witch, or kick bashing a branch witch.
Are you taking your Poxy Sylvaneth conversion to CanCon, Liam?
It's not proxy. It's a lot of hard work into it. I'll quickly see if I can get this up for you guys. Let me just quickly get the lighting right for you guys. So pretty much just making another branch witch snake.
Ah.
Look at you an expensive ass kids.
Okay, can I just say I just have I have a spare stuff collecting box from Sylvaneth, and then I was going to replace all my blood sisters, and I thought, what a better use than just making a snake Sylvaneth army. So,
Fair enough.
but it's been a pain in the butt, and I'm already regretting it. And just because I had similar to Evie, I had an epiphany of a list that I've decided to take, and it's been great to just consult with a few people about it.
No more Eidolon?
No Eidolon.
Ooh.
Eidolon is out. Something a little bit worse has been added in. So yeah.
I know.
So
Does it start with an M and end with Affy?
no, there's no Marathi. There's actually are we allowed to talk about lists now, Anthony, or do you want to do that later?
Yeah, talk.
All right,
Talk away.
sweet. So pretty much I've decided to change my Winterleaf list to a Winterleaf Branch Witch Bomb. Where pretty much I will do mortal wounds to my opponent when they're in a deployment zone. And I think I could averagely do, if they have all their units tied in, I think I could do an average of like 10 plus mortal wounds in my first hero phase. And then I think I also have about 80 dryads starting on the table. Yeah, so starting on 80, and then I can summon more. So I think I'll probably have 110 on the table. And then I got my Snake Durthu coming along, and 2 branch wraiths, and 3 Kernel Hunters. So that's my list running Winterleaf. So I got 2 units of 30 dryads who are going to be generating new attacks on 5s in my turn. And yeah, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Is that what the Winterleaf does? To let your dryads fight better?
It makes the dryads fight better, and also against chaos, I reroll hit rolls and win rolls of 1.
That's good.
So when you have a Durthu who's got Gear Strike, so he's hitting on 2s, winning on 2s, and against chaos, he's hitting on 2s, winning on 2s, rerolling 1s for both, and he's at -2 rend, 6 damage.
Ouch.
Who's looking forward to playing against me? No one. But, oh well. But yeah, so I've been talking to Chris Welfare because he's not attending CanCon. So me and him have been chatting along about lists that I can do, and he says, try this. And I said, okay, I'll quickly build up a branch witch and paint up 2 endless spells for it. Because I need chromatic cogs, spell portal, and a Balewind vortex for it to work. So yeah. So that's the gist of my list.
Is hopefully someone else here is bringing something more fun for everyone else, right? What's Bigwood bringing?
Yeah, let's see what everyone else's list.
Yeah.
Well, the original plan, and it still is, depending on how much I can get done in the next week before I have to submit that final list, was it's my 3-city mixed order but I'm going to go Hammerhall Allegiance just to get that extra bravery buff. And it's based around a Shadowhammer compact.
Sick. That is cool.
You've made a friend.
But I don't get any of the daughters buffs and stuff because it's mixed order. But I still get the one of Stormcast and one daughters can attack in the charge or shoot or something in the hero phase.
You can move or do something in the hero phase.
Well, yeah, they can either move, they can fire, or they can pile in and attack again.
Yeah.
But because you have to have a Slaughter Queen in the battalion, she can actually do that with a Sisters unit as well.
Yeah.
So you can potentially have 2 Sisters units and a Stormcast unit piling in and attacking in the hero phase.
Liam, was that the one that Rob Reimers was playing me some time ago at Exiles?
He did play it. Yeah, it's your favorite one.
That was all right. That was when I quickly learnt about Marathi, the shenanigans of teleporting the Marathi, 9 inches from your line. Then she turns into Big Snake Lady, and then
no, she turns to Big Snake Lady. Then she teleports.
Then teleports. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do it right at the start, otherwise you. Yep.
I just remember Marathi in my face.
See, there'll be I can't do any of that because I've not Daughters Allegiance. So.
But what he can do is make witch elves scary as all hell, and yeah. Also, your Paladors look amazing.
Thanks, man.
So if anyone, give you a shout out to your Twitter, but if anyone check out after the show, check out his Paladors because they are insanely cool.
I'm currently finishing off my first unit of Blooded Braves, my Liberators. So they're coming along with the same sort of extra details and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your army on the table because just from the Twitter pictures alone, they look spectacular. And I don't think I've seen a full force yet where it's all together. It's just been individual photos. And
yeah, that's because it's not all painted yet or assembled.
But when it hits the table all together, it's going to be an absolute. It's going to be beautiful.
Thanks, man. I hope so.
But if it's anything like your existing work, it's going to be awesome.
Thanks.
What is everyone else bringing or working on? So we got
Zoom. What are you working on?
I'm working on this epoxy terrain for my display board.
But what are you bringing?
I'm bringing the Mighty Guts, mate. Mighty Gut Busters.
Every time I hear you say that, I just think of the Mighty Boss tones. I can't help it.
Well, that's fitting. That's fine. I don't know. Hey, I just I sort of fell in love with the army, and
you're making them broken as all hell. Because didn't you win a tournament, or did it win on a warm up?
It was just like a 1-day warm up event, and I won 3 games and came second. So
okay, cool. So they need to get nerfed, right? Because they also won a Masters. Is that also right?
No, it was that wasn't a Masters. That was just a small tournament in.
I just want to clarify. So for like next GHB, we need to tell GW to fix Gutbusters. Yeah.
I played Daughters last night, right?
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, I beat them.
There you go.
But was that the Colin?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, poor guy. He's so upset because he rocked into it, and we were both just like, yeah, well, we know how this is going to go. This is going to be a real one-sided game. And then it just didn't work for him, and he was just there on camera going, I'm going to be humiliated in front of everyone as being the Daughters player that lost the Gutbusters. So he has a certain level of shame following him around at the moment.
So again, Daughters came like top tier, right? 80% win rate?
Wow.
It's around that.
Yeah, okay, cool. So 80% win rate and Gutbusters beat them. Cool.
So it sounds like they need the Iron Jaws nerf.
Yeah, they need an Iron Jaws nerf. That's what
yeah,
they need.
we need to boost up those points of the big gutbusters. The
Yeah.
Butcher needs to be like doubled the points like a hag.
No. The game before that, literally, I lost to Flesh Eater Quartz, right? So it's just Warhammer, you know. It's just how it goes.
So double the points of Flesh Eaters as well. They're broken
double the
as
points.
well.
So pretty much Gutbusters beat Daughters, but Flesh Eater Quartz beats Gutbusters. So that means Flesh Eater Quartz would beat Daughters. So just need a cool.
Yeah.
Got that sorted.
Yeah.
There's legs in the triple
This is
still.
this is why Australia do not do playtesting.
No, but I love the army, and every time I play with them, like I always finish my games on time. It's always just a good fun smash. Always have fun with my opponent. It's an army that not a lot of people have seen, like unless they used to play fantasy a lot. So there's not a lot of people have played against Gutbusters. So it's always just a good time, and I really just want to go to CanCon, make new friends, and have a laugh and have all good games. And so take an army I love, take something that works like that, and it should work out well, I think.
I think the most important question, Michael, is: are you going to be wearing war paint at CanCon, like on your stream? Will you have a blue face?
This is my pot of goodness, and I'm going to be taking it down to CanCon. I'm going to wear it every single game. Absolutely.
That is
Awesome.
the best.
If you want to come over and do my face up for me, you're welcome to.
Slap it on my hand and just big handprint.
Do you like full Lord of the Rings, like Urkai style?
Yeah, the big blue hand.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's going to be fun.
What does so for the benefits of anyone who hasn't played against an Iron Jaws? I'm thinking of Iron Jaws nerfings now. I'm so stuck in Iron Jaws nerfings. I actually just funnily enough had a game against Iron Jaws 2 hours ago. What does a Gutbusters army look like? Like, what are you taking, or what does it even roughly look like?
Oh, it just looks like a bunch of really fit dudes.
Like yourself.
Yeah. Who said that?
It's the best response.
Attack of the dad bods.
Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh, can you please call your army that dad bod?
dad bod. Oh, yeah. I submitted my list today, and maybe I've missed out on that window.
It doesn't matter. Like when you print out your list to give to your opponent, just make sure it says dad bod.
And on the reverse side, laminated is me, like half naked, just like everything hanging out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe
remember-
that could be on the back of your army list. Like every time you go to your opponent, like, hey dude, here's my list, and then on the back is like you kind of half naked or
And
naked.
I
would pay for that.
Yeah, and whenever I check my list, I check it like that. So I hold up my bod to them. It just totally fucks with their head, and
It's a psychological element. It's often overlooked.
and it says on the back #real men have curves.
It's kind of like at like Sydney GT or like in most tournaments now, I always like give a name to my army, like just give them like a weird name. So like Sydney GT, I said 50 Shades of Dryads
Yeah,
because it was just.
I was trying to come up with something clever like that, but I couldn't. I'm really
And
embarrassed.
then for like when I went down to Melbourne to play at Artfist, I think I had my list printed out. And it was like Doors of Cain, Hagnar, Sorry Not Sorry. So like I just always like, and then just find quirky lists. So when you hand it out to your opponent, they just have a laugh, even like just being like, oh, so you actually don't take your army seriously? I'm like, no.
Yeah, and then you kick the shit out of them. Yeah.
With Doors of Cain, yes. That's why you have the #Sorry Not Sorry.
I think you're gonna do really well with your Sylvaneth as well, Liam.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
The thing is that this new list that I've written, 0 practice games because I've practiced with the Eidolon.
Right.
But since I haven't changed, like I know that 30 Dryads can rip through 2 Blood Verses at the same time. So I know that like what most of my unit can do. And Durfu is usually a Dirt View. So yeah. He's alright. But I'm excited just for like a good weekend and also see people's cool hobby. Like there's some cool conversions I've seen on Twitter.
I want to see what Blake brings down. Blake's coming, isn't he?
I think he is still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see what he has created this year.
Yeah, I think I'm super excited. I think it's a chaos theme this year. We'll see.
I know that was a bit hit and miss with Blake. He wasn't sure he was going to come or not. Hopefully, whatever's going on, he's going to come because that his army's always awesome.
Yeah.
It always
sorry.
makes me inspired to do something with my hobby. Like the only reason why I'm doing so many ridiculous conversions and stuff is because of Blake. Yeah, he's very inspirational when it comes to his hobby.
So, have we gushed over Gitmob yet?
The Git Mob,
Yeah.
the dead faction.
Have we? No, not Gitmob. Then what are they called? Moon Clan.
Everyone who's not, basically the book that is everyone who's a grot except for the Git Mob.
Yeah, that's
Gloom
right.
Spite.
Gloom Spite. I was close.
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked about that. What do we think? We've seen now.
What do you think, Anthony, mate? You're the. I was going to say Gitmob, the Gloom Spite guy, right? Aren't you about to drop $1,000 on pre-orders, spend like a week painting like crazy, and rock up on the day with a whole mushroom army?
I'm going to have a new army. No, it's not quite new. I've been playing and practicing with Moon Clan for a little bit. Yeah, no, actually no. I want to ask you guys first. What are your thoughts on the grots? Do we like them? Don't we like them? Army that interests you? What's your take so far?
Pretty keen on a Trog herd.
That cauldron's awesome.
So what draws this to the grot? Because a lot of people have said that the Troggoths definitely seem like an army for them. What's drawing us to the Troggoths?
I just love the models. I think there's so much character, so much little detail on all of them. You can just go like the Fellwater Troggoths were already really cool, and then some of those new ones are just the laugh factor.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Troggoth who is holding a rock, and on top of his head is a bird's nest with a little bird, and under the rock is a worm that's being fed to the bird?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is just quirky as all hell.
They've just put up Carrion Empire, which is a new set with Skaven and Flesh Eater Courts in it by the look of it.
What? Oh, the open day.
Yeah.
Well, I will. Let's share screens. Let's bring it up. Let's do it all together.
Skaven confirmed.
Yeah, Skaven, and there's a new Ghoul King who's really cool.
Oh, crap. So good.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Let's check this out together.
New Girl King looks like a warp engineer, warlock engineer or something.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just. All right, so I'm presenting the screen. So this has literally just hit the Warhammer community. So today, they've got the Warhammer World Open Day. So what do we have? So we've got the new kickoff in style. Everyone lining up to go buy their Forge World before the and their GW before the prices go up on paints and on start collecting boxes.
Yeah.
We've got Gene Stealer Cults. I might just zoom in a little bit.
Oh,
Pretty cool assassin model.
Kind of cool.
Gene Stealer Cults have so much character.
There's a female priest, female cult leader.
yeah, I am so converting something from that.
Yeah, the one with the icon above his head was pretty sick too.
Which one? That one?
Yeah, the
Okay.
bottom left.
Now,
Yeah.
can we all please just praise how much Mad Max influence has been in 40k
Yeah.
recently? There's so much Mad Max in it.
Yeah.
I am the Lord Humongous.
So got some more road bikes.
They look so good.
Yeah, I actually would love to go buy Speed Freaks and kick off Gorka Morka. Use the old Gorka Morka rules to bring that game back to life. Yeah, look at that. That's Mad Max right there.
Yeah, it's literally just Mad Max. It's like, hey guys, we got a Mad Max army if you're cool with that. And everyone's like, yes.
A bit more kill team. Yeah, awesome.
I can see a lot of, yeah, it looks good.
I'm dying for the AOS. I'm like, come on.
Keep going.
Kill team.
No, I'm like building the suspense. Like, yep, cool kill team. I haven't played kill team, but I hear nothing but awesome stuff.
Kill team.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know.
we got AOS.
Kill
I'm putting
team
the
is lots of
suspense.
fun.
I'm
The logo-
suspense.
the
So,
logo-
Age of Sigmar, we've seen the Gloomspite Gits, which we've seen, obviously, the video. We've seen really cool stuff. Now we have the Carrion Empire. So we've got a video here, which is going to be about Skaven and the Flesh Eater Courts.
Oh,
That's a cool Ghoul King.
I don't know if
Hang on, wait. Can we go down? Can we go down to
Why
the
not?
Skaven quickly?
Yeah. Holy
Alright.
crap.
Wow,
Can we just
check
say-
out the
Can we
Ghoul
please
King.
Okay, can we all just look at this Skaven? He looks like he's rocking out in a guitar.
It's going on from the Mad Max. It's the guy in the top of the vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm all over that Ghoul King, man.
Yeah. He's good, isn't he?
I think that's a named Ghoul King, isn't it?
He's rad.
No, it just says it's Abhorrent Archregent.
That's sick.
Yeah, that does.
He's more vicious. Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's see what's in the box. It looks like it's
I'm just loving that.
Yeah.
I'm just loving that guy who literally should be on the big speakers for
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
All right, let me zoom this in a little bit. Oh, a bit too excited there.
Is that a box, is it?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a pretty good box.
So we've got ghouls, we've got a doom wheel, we've got the warp lightning cannon, we've got some storm friends, we've got Guitar Man, we've got Ghoul King who's riding a surfboard, we've got some Vargeists. Oh no, sorry, no, they're flayers. Sorry, flayers. They're flayers in Flesh Eaters.
We should all know I had 18 of them. So
Yes.
much fun.
And we got some horrors. That looks like a pretty good book, a box and book, and whatever's in there. I'm excited.
Well, it says down that last paragraph there, in the coming weeks, there's more exciting news for Skaven and Flesh Eater Court players. So it looks like maybe a new book and an update for Flesh
think-
Eaters.
I think don't quote me on this, guys, but I'm pretty sure they might be redoing some of the old battle terms before GHB 1. So your Flesh Eater Courts, Fire Slayers, Skaven Pestilence is probably going into that Skaven book if they do a form big one. What's another army that Iron Jaws?
Seraphon.
Yeah, and Seraphon.
I think there was a rumor where it was very clearly some sort of dino scale on the rumor engine.
Yeah.
I'd also heard that it was Fire Slayer's re-release of the book, and then a Skaven book similar to Legions of Nagash. That's what I'd heard. And that's what I heard from someone that a lot of you know that's actually been pretty reliable in the past, I think. Who knows a lot about Skaven.
Bob.
Skaven Bob. That would be
think-
close.
Must be Skaven Tom with his 200 giant rats.
Yeah.
Hey, got some beautiful grots here for Blood Bowl.
That helicopter one's hilarious.
I'm looking at the Mr. Pogo Man. Surely this is a fanatic right here.
All it needs is a few mushrooms.
That's a pretty cool model.
That's
Does he have a giant's foot?
he's got definitely an ogre.
Yeah, it is.
I've got the doors on him.
Ooh, what's this?
And a giant heart feast.
Disgusting.
Come on, that's a spawn right there.
Oh.
He's so pretty. I just want to give him a hug.
It's very Jabba the Hutt like.
Yeah.
You could almost make an argument that it could be Saneshi.
It's a Skaven. Doesn't have 13 on the shoulder.
Brood horror.
So what do we think of the new models being shown off?
Pretty rad.
Yeah.
Love them.
Okay.
It's going to be so hard not to get another army this year. So hard.
That's why you start last year, and then you can just say, hey, I had this before.
Yeah, I'm already working on Iron Jaws.
There you go.
No, but like, going to have to get into Flesh Eater Courts now too.
Have to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my wife's trying to teach me the difference between need and want, so I'm not sure.
How's that going?
Yeah, so just bought some new models, so we'll see.
What's the strategy? Like, how do you explain that? So I always talk to my wife and I do a little bit of buy and sell, and I'm like, oh, it's practically free. I'm like, well, if I sell something for $40 and like I buy something for $50, well, it's practically free, guys. Like,
Well, I'm trying to move like 4,000 points of Stormcast at the moment, so
Good luck. I think everyone's doing that.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
sold
what
some already. I traded some for some art boys as well.
Why you marry a gamer, guys?
Well, hindsight is a wonderful thing, Andrew. I'll just go and divorce my wife now,
Yeah,
and I'll just
that's
like
right.
go find somebody.
Sorry,
So-
we have to get a divorce. You don't like the same games I do, so.
So if there's
Okay.
anyone in the chat that wants to get married to myself, anyone else looking for a gamer wife? Or
I'm
Can I
also available to anyone.
What is it?
I'm taking, sorry.
This girl that I'm currently seeing, she's like, "Oh my gosh, can you teach me how to play Warhammer?" And I was like, "Seriously?" Like, I didn't know she was taking the piss. She was like, "No, like seriously, I want to learn." I was like, "Okay, if
So
this
you're just
works,
going to Russia, right?
if this works, right, I can literally just buy multiple armies and just say it's hers, and then it'll be sweet. I'll be sweet."
Yep.
My partner's working on Nighthorn at the moment, so we'll see how that goes.
That's
Well,
cool.
I'm planning on buying an army for my son on his 10th birthday. It's for my son. I'm telling you.
You know what? Clint did the exact same thing. He bought a Seraphon army for his kids, but I'm pretty sure he took it to a tournament.
He was just checking that it worked.
That's a great dad. This is why Clint is dad of the year.
No, I'm pretty sure my 6-year-old has a Skaven army that I had commission painted that he's not allowed to play with.
My 1-year-old has his daughter's a Kane army.
What?
That's what I'm paying up for at the moment.
Okay. Seeing the hindsight.
Yeah, it's definitely not mine.
Well, my daughter's painting her own, so it's like a closed workshop at our house at the moment. My wife's doing a new Blood Bowl team. I'm doing Sigmar, so is my daughter. So
Sounds
Is
like
she
heaven.
Is she excited for CanCon?
she's pretty pumped. She's stressing about getting her army painted like the rest of us. But
Oh,
she's
tell
got
her that's normal.
she's got less to do than me. So
Oh, she's fine.
That's the true spirit of a tournament. If you're not painting towards the very end, it's not like you even attended a tournament.
Was it last year? I remember this. Last year's CanCon, I had to do basing for my army still, and Dan Brewer, and I remember this. We're like in our Airbnb. And he goes, "Hey Liam, I'm really bored. Can we please make a how to paint dark skin tutorial in a Duncan form?" And this is still like, I'm pretty sure we still have this uploaded in the city page somewhere. And I remember we purposely made sure we timed it so it can be posted on the start of CanCon, so everyone gets a random notification and watches it halfway through their game. But the deal was that he had to do the basing for me for the rest of my army, and he did. It was great.
Not bad.
And we finished at 2 a.m. I'm pretty sure.
I still got to make bloody Wildwoods for my cousin Lee from New Zealand. So
I'll never forget the image of Chris Welfare getting a flight up to RCGT #1, the very first one from Sydney to Brisbane or Redlands, and he was painting while he waited for his taxi or Uber to arrive. He had his paints outside on his like a little floor, painting while the taxi was coming. So, so we've heard a little bit about other people's. Who else hasn't spoken about their list? I know Trav, you've been quiet with your Dremel. I don't know if you're still dremeling.
No, I'm off mute now.
What are you working on? Tell us about your list.
So I'm taking my Slaves, Khorne / Stormcast, whatever list. So I'm not actually going to use it. Well, at the moment, I'm not actually going to use it as Slaves to Darkness, just because they're not very good. But basically, so I'm going to probably run it slightly differently this time. But the last thing I have to do to get it all up and running is paint a War Shrine, which is the last model. And then if I can be bothered, I might do a couple of optional extras, maybe just sub some things in and out. But I'll get time to do any of that. So I don't. But otherwise, just a War Shrine to go, and then I am finished.
Do you also have like a massive terrain commitment to do?
No, so there's nothing extra for CanCon. I'm still, possibly. It depends how quick he goes with lining up battle mats and stuff like that. So if he comes up short, then I'll have to do a bunch of stuff. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good. So hopefully we won't have to do that again this year.
Right. And you're all okay for terrain, like things to go on the boards?
Maybe. Let me have a look. See, Clint bullishly gave me a link to his list. You shouldn't have done that.
I think that the thing where everyone brings 3 pieces of terrain in the community now really does help that a lot.
Yeah, I think we're actually pretty good at the moment from the looks of things. I think it's all covered, so there shouldn't be any shortfalls, I don't believe. I know Clint's working on some stuff at the moment and a couple other people are, so I think we're actually all pretty good. So I think we're just pulling the last bits together at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to people like Charles Black who have been working their absolute arse off getting terrain made up. So I know there's a lot of people working on terrain. I think Hayden Walker's working on some terrain, like additional above and beyond terrain. So kudos for anyone who's bringing a couple of extra bits, because it really does go a really long way.
Yeah, definitely a shout out to Charles Black. He's really been like just throwing himself into it, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he needs to do a workshop or like a video understanding, like telling us how he paints so much in such a short period of time. Because he just makes it so casual.
Yeah, it almost seems like every day he's like, "Oh yeah, I did another 10 pieces of terrain." I'm
Like it was nothing.
Like, oh yeah, just whatevs.
He's just internally screaming.
Tim,
Yo.
how's your army going? We've seen some beautiful photos. I think you put up some stuff about Kernoths yesterday.
Got my 3 Kernoths done this morning, which leaves me just my Enchantress, which I'm working on at the moment, and Ilariel, which I'm about. I haven't started painting her yet, but my Water Droth Beetle is taking shape at the moment. So I do not have much to go, which I'm very grateful for.
Shut up.
I mean, if you wanted to not paint her and bring something else instead, that would be okay.
Look, unfortunately, I don't have another 600 points of stuff that I can fill in.
I'm fine with kill Lariel.
How much is
absolutely?
How much is Leon Lancour? Is he still in the Bretonnian Compendium?
He's 400.
There you go. Just found another 200 points.
Yeah, endless spells. Purple Sun and something else.
Yeah. Emerald Life Springs, that's what, 60.
And then Pendulum.
Or you don't even have to go the Pendulum, just take the command point.
Absolutely. But she's quite important to the theme and narrative of my army. Without her, everything falls to pieces. So
the narrative or the list?
The list is not going to hold up regardless. It can't fall down because it was never standing up.
There's only one important game at CanCon, and that's round 1, me versus you, mate.
Well,
every other game after that doesn't matter. So you're fighting Gutbusters, so we're equally handicapped. Let's put it that way.
I'd be lying if I said that I hadn't thought about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would be lying if I said that I hadn't played that scenario against Gutbusters
like every single night, over and over in your head, 1,000 times.
My the guy who runs Gutbusters at the club, his list looks a lot different to yours though. So.
What are you? Are you Order or are you Sylvaneth? You're Order, aren't you?
Order. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't have to worry about those stinking poxy trees.
You don't. Everywhere. I've only got one chance of getting trees out, and that's with Ilariel's Metamorphosis spell, and that has to be very, very situational for her to actually get a wood out on that spell.
Good.
So this was a boxing promotion, and there was going to be, the 2 fighters weighing in, ready to do some trash talking potentially before the heavyweight fight. Tim, what are you going to say at the press conference about your opponent?
Look, I'm going to take the angle of, he's a great guy. I'm a big fan of his work, but at the end of the day, there can only be one. The ladies love us. We're good-looking guys, but there's only enough room on YouTube for one of our faces, and it has to be mine.
That's right. And Tim is nothing but a pretender. He's never fought anyone for a title. He's never fought anyone worthwhile. He's never beaten anyone for a title. He shouldn't even deserve a title shot. And now he's here, and I'm going to show him who's who.
So shout out in the chat. guys, who do you think is going to take the YouTube fight down between Doom and Darkness and Aussie Wargamer?
Aussie Wargamer.
I was going to say, where do I go to the chat and type in Aussie Wargamer?
Sorry, man, but it's going to be Doom and Darkness.
Oh, yes.
I'll just come by the table holding a sign saying turn 1, turn 2.
I'll have my dad bod on the reverse side of that.
I want to see the dad bod dressed as the daughter of Karen.
Oh no, you really don't want to see that.
in the UK.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Guys,
Charles.
we need to break Twitter somehow.
I mean, Chuck Moore did it at Raw, where he dressed up as Marathi.
Yeah, but Chuck's fit, you know.
Well, mate, he's got Stormcast Strong. Maybe you've got Dad Bod Gutbusters.
Oh, I've got McDonald's stomach, maybe something like that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, drag a cauldron behind you.
Hey?
Drag a cauldron full of food behind you.
Oh, yeah.
You would be everyone's best friend at CanCon. Like, what's in the cauldron, Michael? Oh, I'll have one of those.
I did consider like getting bright yellow leather pants and a dinner plate and putting it over my stomach and putting a belt around it and going in shirtless and just like full like an ogre with a gut plate.
No.
Just carry
And,
a
like-
cricket bat in there.
Yeah, I've got a Fijian war club here, so like from Fiji, so it's perfect. Except it'd be cool for about one game, and then I'd be really uncomfortable. People would be grossed out. It'd go downhill really.
Actually, given how hot it gets at CanCon, you'd probably be more comfortable than the rest of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Except for when like my opponent starts seeing me sweat and it's just trickling down my body, and I'm basically naked, and then the smell comes, and there's nothing to contain it, and I'm just like, lean over the table to like scoop up my dice. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
Can we not just get to CanCon right now? I'm keen for this game.
That sounds so thematic.
Yeah.
So, Aussie Wargamer, you're happy to know that Ranger is in your corner. He can't believe someone's taking Brett's, but he's in your side, mate. So, shout out to you, mate. There's no supporters of Doom in the chat, so there's not a single comment. So,
I mean, if I lose, it's purely Psych and Submarine. I'm just saying, and it's all a part of my plan all along.
And then he versus Liam next round.
Oh yeah, right. Who are you playing round 1?
No one that I know of. No one's grudged me.
Oh, you don't accept grudges. I forgot.
I don't I just want to clarify. I accept grudges, but if they're not like seem so aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Liam only accepts grudges if you are. He doesn't believe that you're below him. So there's not many people he'll accept. Oh, Sean is throwing his support to Doom. So you've got one supporter.
Thanks, Sean. Hang on, I've got more than one.
Was that Tubbs? Where's Tubbs not here?
I think Tubbs with his missus. He tells me that it's like his missus night.
Oh, nice. Just sit down and watch some Warhammer with you on your date night.
Get some bonbons happening, light a candle and put on AOS Coach with Doom and all these other YouTube sensations like Aussie Wargamer. And
should I show her my gut plate?
Hey guys, branch witch done.
Where is it?
Yeah, you're lying.
Liam, speak, and everyone else not speak. Liam, you need to speak.
Hey. I'm pretty sure you can just lock my screen.
I can, but I'm lazy.
Quality YouTubing.
So she is done. I don't have to build anything else. I just need to paint her up in a day. That'll be good.
Well done. Well done. So, Tim, what are you running? So you've talked to us about you're going to run an order force. You got a bit of Brett's in there. You got some Sylvaneth. Although I think you should psych Doom out and just say that you're running a Sylvaneth list.
He is. Tim, didn't you ask me to bring some Citadel Wildwoods for you?
No, I did not. Yeah, so I guess the narrative idea came first, and the idea is that Alariel is the daughter of Lilieth, who in the old world was the Lady of the Lake, and I thought, Alariel has to at some point think about that. Like, she has to remember, right? And so the idea is, and if you've been watching my videos, you'll know this. The idea is that some free guilds stumbled upon Alariel in a contemplative moment, and she transformed them into Bretonnians to have a bit of fun and remember the old days. So Alariel was a must include. So I've got her. I've got a Bretonnian Lord on Pegasus with Gaia Strike and Legendary Fighter. So he's only got 5 wounds, but he's a bit of a. But he can punch. Can cause a bit of damage before he blows up. Then I've got the Enchantress who buffs Grail Knights. And the Sacred Protector, who is my pick for the worst War Scroll in the game. But I like the idea that, you know, in the old world, the Sacred Protector was King Giles, and he burst forth to help the Bretonnians in moments of need. And I like the idea that this Sacred Protector is just a memory that's been made manifest. And so in the story of the army, Sacred Protector hasn't come yet. We don't know that it's there, but in a game, perhaps the first game against you, Doom, there'll be a moment where Alariel is in danger, and her memory of the Green Knight manifests itself into a Sacred Protector who comes on the board and probably doesn't do much, but is there to help, which is cool. So they're my heroes. For Battle Line, I'm running 30 Dryads and 2 units of Free Guild Archers. I went with the Free Guild Archers rather than the Bretonnian Bowmen, the Peasant Bowmen, because they're a little bit cheaper and they're Battle Line. And so I wanted to fill out that 3rd Battle Line. But I do have the Bretonnian models that I'm running rather than the Free Guild ones. Then I've got 10 Grail Knights, which are my hammer. When they charge, they do some pretty decent damage. They've got to be able to get the charge off, but when they charge, they do some damage. And then Chromatic Cogs to hopefully help that charge a little bit. So that's what I'm running.
Well, just because some watery tart threw a sword at you.
I actually have an objective marker, which is a hand with a sword coming out of the swamp.
I'm really looking forward to seeing your army on the table across from it, because the pictures I've seen so far, it looks amazing.
Thanks, man.
I feel bad for the Free Guild guys. Like, what did they do? It's like, you're Bretonnians now.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm personally insulted for him using Bretonnian models as free people.
Yeah.
Like, where's the pantaloons? Where are the mustaches? Where are the awesome feathers in your cap?
There is a moustache there. There's actually a couple of moustaches there. No pantaloons, though.
Mate, just because you have a moustache doesn't make you Free Guild.
Are you just actually upset because they're actually Bretonnian peasant bowman models that are pretending to be Free Guild archers?
Am I upset?
Yeah, they're getting above their station, coach. They're just
Yeah.
like, no, we're actually Free Guild. No, you're peasants.
Yeah, get back to the slums and keep shoveling that shit, because you are not in the elite of the free people. You are not.
Help! I'm being repressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the champion better be called Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm in Doom's corner now. You talk too much shit about the free people, and Doom, I'm in your side now. Like, I was on your side, Tim, until you started talking about Free Guild who weren't Free Guild.
Ouch.
So harsh.
I'll have
It's his hobby.
We used to be friends, Tim. Like, we went to university together. We were thespians, and now you are my mortal enemy.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
What? Which one? The mortal enemy part or the thespian part?
Did you guys actually go to uni together?
Yeah, that's how Tim and I know each other. So, Tim, I'll let you tell the story if you want to share.
I'm learning something new
went
every
to
day.
uni together. We did theatre studies together. There's not much of a story there.
We can make something up. We're actors. We're trained actors.
True.
We could have literally just said, you guys bumped into each other, your books fell on the floor, then your eyes crossed paths, and then it was just a happily ever after.
It's like they bumped into each other and their books hit the floor and a white dwarf spilled out.
Yeah, that's right. From that moment. I do remember reading army books during lectures and like hiding them inside textbooks and that kind of stuff.
Similar to what I did, but mine was Pokemon.
You went to Ninja?
I do that now with Warhammer stuff and uni.
No, but yeah, Tim and I went to university together. Shout out to Armidale UNE, best university in the world. Yeah, we
Never
studied theatre. Never heard of Armidale or UNE?
Both.
It is in God's country. It is regional New South Wales.
Kidding. I know someone who's actually at Armidale now, but I did not know there was a uni there.
There is. It's the best uni in the world.
I did my master's through UNA.
There you go. Beautiful people like Tim and Andrew.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
On education.
Well,
yeah. Because my career does not need an education, apparently. So it's all right.
Yeah, but I've also been to UWS, which is the worst university. So,
yeah.
Randy, what do you bring in?
So the theme of my list is very simple. It started off with just anything that was chariot, and then some snakes. So it's basically, so I've got a unit of 6 Necropolis Knights, 6 Ushabti. There's 9 chariots in 3 units of 3. And then I've got a Tomb King, a Necrotect, a Lich Priest, and the Exalted King on Chariot. And then because Morgan thought it was good and I thought I'd try it, I've got a Scarab Prince who so far has achieved nothing in any game I've used him in. So that's going to be a fantastic use of 80 points. But yeah, I just charge things. It's great fun. Everything when it charges that's a chariot basically doubles their attacks. So it makes them go from crap to mediocre, which is nice.
Sounds like filth with all that Tomb King stuff there.
It's the Necropolis Knights.
Yeah, the Necropolis. Well, actually, the Necropolis Knights, everyone knows they're a big threat because everyone like understands. Oh, yep, they can do this, this, and this. But it's actually Ushabti.
Yeah.
I found that the Ushabti are bonkers. So they're 4 wounds a pop with a 4-up save. But if you are only taking damage 1,
5 up save.
5 up. Yep, thank you. 5 up. And if it's damage 1, then they get +2 to their save.
Put them in cover.
Yeah, it's just, and they're I think it's 3s and 3s, something along those lines. But they do D3 damage. So yep, they pack a bit of a punch.
You're doing the close combat ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. 3s and 3s, -1, 2 to damage. Cool.
D3 damage.
Yeah, so they're actually really good at just charging into a unit of something, taking it off the table, and because my list has very few models in it, so I struggle to take objectives off anyone that has more than 10 bodies on an objective.
I know how you feel, brother.
So I need to make sure I can remove like 9 of those bodies so I can take the objective.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a bit of fun. I like charging things. The Exalted on a Chariot is amazing with an Ethereal Amulet because he's got his 3+ unrenderable, then he's got a 5+, and then the death saving throw of a 6+. So he's pretty tanky. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun. I'm not expecting to do super great. I just want to charge people with Tomb Kings.
Solid.
I like it. I loved what you did at Sydney GT with all the chariots. So I do like the Tomb Kings. I do like that Egyptian feel.
Yeah, well, the funniest thing is the Exalted Tomb King on Chariot giving a unit fly. So I've caught people off guard with that because I was playing a game against Wanderers and it was literally, oh, my unit of Skeleton Warriors is going to get killed, but I managed to get my king within range the turn before, gave them flying, doubled their movement, they retreated off onto an objective, and he was just like, oh dear. So that opens up a lot of shenanigans in the movement phase, which is pretty good.
Do you have a back?
Can you imagine? Sorry, can you imagine like 40 skeletons just flying through the air over the top of something, rattling everywhere?
They're just like, we're gonna go over here now. Just start to fly away, going.
Is there a second army that you have like as a backup plan in case something eventually happens to Tomb Kings, or?
Well, I've written some fluff behind my army, and I've sneakily chucked in down the very bottom of it. So if they get removed and legended. I can just run them as Legions of Nagash if I wanted to. But I'm actually going to be building a Seraphon list this year, which is going to follow my trend of I'm just going to push something big at you. So the Seraphon list is 2 Scarvets on Carnosaurs, a Dread Saurian, and an Engine of the Gods. And there just happens to be some Skinks and Ripperdactyls in it. But I push the big 3 dinosaurs at people. That's the plan for that one.
Now the attacks don't stack, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I knew that when I built the list. The prerequisite for the list, Liam, was quite literally how many dinosaurs can I fit and how far do they move forward?
I mean, they don't stack unless you Clint's mate, right?
Oh, controversy corner.
Yeah. Anthony, I really want to know about your army.
Me?
Yeah. What are you thinking?
So they had the units come out with the stats today. We saw the old stuff revised War Scrolls on the New Zealand website as well. So what has happened in your head?
Good question.
Everything.
So the context obviously is that I don't know the points yet. So I don't. Obviously, I'm theory crafting without knowing what actually could fit into my list. So I've been practicing a lot with different Moon Clan units and destruction units in general because I knew that I would only have 48 hours to build the list as soon as the book dropped. So I wanted to get an understanding of what worked and what didn't work. I tried Zarbag's Gits from Warhammer Underworlds. While in theory their spell is really good, it's a 3-inch. You got to be within 3 inches to pull it off, which is very situational. So the list I ran today, I think we're going to make some tweaks, and I've kind of got a feel. So in theory, what am I going to run? So I will have a Troggoth Hag. I will have the Mangler Squig with a Loon King on it, or a Loon Boss. I will have a bunch of grots, so 40 grots, 20 grots, 20 grots. I may build more grots. I've got a Colossal Squig, so I've been running 2 Colossal Squigs, and I realized that while they are an awesome model, 16 wounds, -1 to hit, blows up and turns into 5 Cave Squigs, it's 300 points each, so that's 600 points between my 2 Colossals. That eats up a lot of points if it doesn't go off.
I reckon if you just replace those completely with Squig riding knights, if you just dropped 10 boxes of those knights now, you'd be absolutely fine for CanCon.
So what I'm thinking about from a new model perspective, I'm thinking of adding the Loon Boss on Mangler Squig. I'm thinking of adding the Squig Knights. Yep, you're right. I am tossing up on the new Fanatics. So the Fanatic rules have changed significantly, and I don't need the Fanatics as damage dealers. I really used them as counter charges, and now I've lost that ability. So
yeah, but the mushroom ones look like the minuses to hit and the frenzy everyone around them is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it also blocks line of sight. I need to spend more time reading the rules, but I see them being a good screen, especially for my opponent Luke Stone, who's going to have a lot of shooting at me for our grudge. It's a nice way to the things like the Colossal Squig degrade really quickly. They've got like a 5-up armor save. It's resilient, but it's not that resilient. So I need it as maxed up as possible when it hits combat. So I think that the new Fanatics I think will work really well. What else? The Shamans have got a little bit of a nerf. So they used to have you roll a dice, and on a 2+, I get a +2 to cast. They've lost that ability, so I now need to revisit my magic casting and where I get those spells from. Because a lot of their spells, like the Curse of the Bad Moon, is a 7, so that can be quite hard to pull off. What else? I've got a Squig Gobber, so I know there's going to be armies like Daughters of Cain who are going to have these critical like Death Stars that are tied together by things like Hag Queens, and I can't go one-on-one with a with a Daughters army. I can't deal with it.
I reckon you can.
Yeah.
Well, in the current list,
Yeah, I mean, if you've got 60 of those gobos with some netters in there, you put another -1 hit on them, and they're gonna go to poo, especially if you battle shock immune.
Not with the volume of attacks. Not with the volume of attacks that a unit of 30 witch elves can put out.
Easy all day long because it's rerolls after modifiers, right?
Yeah.
Liam,
no, it's modifiers after rerolls.
All right, here we go. Liam coming in here.
Yep.
Okay. So let's say 30 witch elves, 120 attacks or 25 attacks.
You won't get all. You won't get all 120.
Have you met me?
He will.
But there's a serious high volume of attacks.
There's a serious high volume of attacks. So they generally hit on 3s. Now, depending on the temple they come at, so let's just say they charged you in a Drakey Nephilis, they get +1 to hit, right? So your netters have already mummified that, so they're now back on 3s.
Let's assume they're Hagnar because that's what most people are going to take, and they're leveled, and it's second turn 2.
Okay, turn 2. Okay, cool. So pretty much, they'll get about 20, 30 attacks in. And then they got reroll to wounds. And is there any way yet to -1 to wound?
Not in destruction.
No. I reckon they'll hit you really hard, like a truck, but the thing is though, with the new stuff, you're gonna probably mess them up.
Yeah, so I'm obviously this is purely out of only what we currently know. And one of the things that I've taken is a Squig Gobber, which is a wonderful shooting squig, which has a 30-inch shot. It actually has 6 shots at 30 inches. Doesn't require line of sight as well. So for Sylvaneth players like Liam, I've got a decent shot at taking out things like the Branch Witch, even if she is in a Sylvaneth Wildwood that most armies wouldn't be able to handle.
What do you think about the changes they did to the Fungaloid Cave Shaman and the fact that they got rid of his command ability?
I was totally honestly expecting that because they changed the Ordinator one to it used to be Order War Machines. Now it's what is it? Now it's just Stormcast War Machines. And then I think they also changed the Knight of Shrouds. They changed his one as well. So every time when there's a new release for those Harbingers, it's there. They honestly expected it because they at first wanted people to buy the model because of that buff, and then now with the new book, it had to get changed to suit the new theme. Yeah. If that's right, Anthony.
Yeah. So the struggles that I've had, so I've been running the Fungoid Cave Shaman in my destruction list. The challenge that I've currently had with them is he has to be your general. And that sucks. Having like a 5 wound guy as a general sucks when I've got something like a Troll Hag who could be a better general. And now that I've got the Loon boss on Mangler, he should be my number 1. Like I want him as my general. So by removing that command trait, I don't mind. It was also very situational. So I got to run and charge with Orc and Grot units. I think it had to be wholly within 18 at the start of the charge phase. The challenge with that is that my army is currently heavy squig army. So I was running a colossal squigs. And the only thing that I could really do to take advantage of that was using a Mangler squig. And the Mangler squig's 240 versus the colossal, which is 300. The Mangler squig only has 10 wounds. The colossal has 16 wounds. The colossal explodes and turns into cave squigs, which is worth 60 points anyway. And it's just generally a better combat weapon.
Yeah. And so, also how they've changed the moon, squigs can run and charge anyway.
Oh,
so that'll help.
Absolutely.
Can I just say that moon rule is absolutely amazing. I love it. Like I am like for all terrain rules and stuff, I think that's probably one of the most fun ones they've made.
Yeah, I think that was the thing, like in the WhatsApp groups and the Facebook groups. I think that was the big thing that people feared, was that Moon Clan / Night Goblins have always been goofy. They're funny, they're comedic, they're unpredictable. You laugh at them. Squigs you can't really take too seriously. And I think some people were scared that they would go really grim dark and you would lose that fun, that randomness, that comedy. And I think they've done a fine job at in the the Fnatic box set, there is a Fnatic with the imprint of a Stormcast face in
so
the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
So good.
You know, we talked about the troll with the bird, the feeding the worm, like the worm and the bird.
Now
There's the nod to the the dispossessed. Or is that a sneak peek into the dispossessed being reimagined?
See the
the one thing I'll just go, mate.
No, I was just going to talk about trolls, mate. So you've probably got something more relevant.
I was going to say was the one thing I can respect for with GW is now we all know that the Moon Clan grots are such an old kit and stuff, and the one thing that they've done with armies that are getting redone now, such as Daughters of Cain and everything, you would think with the new technology moving forward, the models would just not, the old models just would look so out of place. But now, I was super worried when they were going to do Moon Clan or Gloom, whatever they're called, but the old kits would just look so out of place that they just don't suit the aesthetic anymore. But GW have actually nailed it by making them not look out of place, and it actually just suits. Like, they just look part of it, which I think is a huge success in their part when it comes to the sculptors. Because I was seriously worried that they would literally just be like, oh, these are new kits, buy them, and your old stuff is just going to look so out of place. No, they've actually just gone like, no, we're going to make sure everything suits still in that aesthetic. So I think that was really cool that they did that as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it will come together. But I think it's like every army that's reimagined is that there's this fear that the army that you loved becomes something that you don't, like it was never meant to be.
Yeah. Well, like Daughters of Cain, though, when they were introduced to snakes, I was like, if you put them next to a witch elf, the witch elf and the snake don't look out of place. Like, they look like they're joined, which is awesome. Same with the harpies. So honestly, a huge kudos to them. And same with Sylvaneth, I think, with the dryads compared to the tree revs, it just suits. So every army that they've reimagined so far, they've nailed it on the head.
Michael's video just went upside down and was giving us a thumbs up. So
Sylvaneth was basically the worst reimagining they could have ever come up with. Whoever's idea it was to put all those Sylvaneth wildwoods on the board, it just needs their head read. That's hot garbage, that is. But,
here we go. Here we go. Let's do this.
Michael's starting to fight with another person.
Right, yes, excellent. Game of Warhammer. First model I deploy, I have to put inside your poxy forest and it falls over. And then I have to pick it up and put it back again and I get my finger caught on a tree. I'm like, I haven't even started playing yet. I'm having a negative experience already.
Aww. That sucks. You know what would be easier if I just cast a spell and on a 5-up I just do D3 mortal wounds to it each time. You just can remove it and just never have to deal with it again.
I would prefer that. I would be all for that. I hate
No
those
problem.
models.
I'll make sure I'll get that sorted for you.
Thanks, mate.
All right, sounds like a grudge coming at an upcoming event near you.
Yeah.
He's left. Oh, no, damn. I thought that was walking away. I was like, he's out.
You've insulted somebody already. He's just like, I'm out of here. I can't handle this.
I've done my job for the night.
But I think
I thought that was my job. I'm so confused.
But Michael, you were about to talk about trolls because I think the Troggoth is definitely something that
so
maybe people weren't expecting.
So these guys had their rules changed, right? The river trolls.
Yeah.
So they used to hit on 4s and wound on 3s. Now they hit on 3s and wound on 3s, right? So that's huge. -1 and damage 2. So that's awesome. And they're 4 attacks each. And their puke used to like hit on a 3 or a 4. Now it hits on a 2, wounds on a 3, -2 rend, D3 damage.
It's almost like they're trying to sell boxes.
I know.
Yeah.
So
It's almost like they have a warehouse filled with them and they go, we need to get rid of these.
now the new Trog boss gets you re-roll hits of 1, right? So you have a unit of 9 or 12 of these trolls, right, in combat. It goes into the shooting phase. You get 9 to 12 vomits, which hit on a 2, re-rolling 1s, wound on a 3, -2 rend, D3 damage, plus 4 attacks per model, 3s and 3s, -1, 2 damage, plus they heal, plus they have a built-in -1. Like, that's really good, man. That's really freaking good. And the models are awesome. And then you can chuck in some of the other big new trolls. I can't wait to see what they do. A couple of big troll bosses, and you know, you've got yourself a 25 model army that's just going to kick some ass, I think. So yeah.
And you go up against Legions and Nagash or any Death Army, and they make you -2 or -3 to hit.
And then you vomit all over Nagash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, who cares, right? If you're rocking a troll army, you're already beating that.
You're
Doors of
already
Cain
winning.
player, that Nagash player. It doesn't matter. You're already way cooler than them, so you don't have to worry about that sort of.
You know what I love about Citadel Wildwoods is they block line of sight for shooting.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not even going to be able to get my trolls in between those fucking trees. You know, so that's going to be fun for me, like just jamming against the trunks, and of course we can't move over the circles.
Can I tell you what I love? I love that Forge World has included the Bone Grinder Gargant into the Gloomspite Grit kits.
Oh,
Yes.
didn't know that.
They did. So on Warhammer TV, Ben Johnson had mentioned in the discussion that the Troggoth Hag, the Colossal Squig, the Squig Gobber, and the Gargan, the Forge World Gargan, would all get the Gloomspite keyword. So, and we know that in the book there is an allegiance that has Gargans in it. So I'm wondering if there is some sexy list that includes a Bone Grinder or two, because that model is amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How many points is it?
Not as much as you probably think. I think it's around the 300 mark, if I remember correctly.
300.
Oh, that's all right.
320. No, what's expensive is the Great Maw, the Dread Maw, sorry, which is like 500.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know.
You know what I'm really upset about is Magma Dragons are just over 400 points, so you can't have them as an ally. It's
Yeah,
really
the Carmine Dragon is the same. I want to run it. I would love to run it under a free city rule, but it's like 420 or 440.
Yeah, I think Magma Dragon's 440. It's really upsetting. So then you have to go mixed destruction if you want to run 3 Magma Dragons. It's really sad.
Yeah, sad.
So sad. I would totally do it. Oh well. So what is everyone looking to get out of CanCon weekend? Like, is everyone just looking for like just having one win, or is someone looking for like being nominated for coolest army?
I honestly don't care.
Sick.
Hopefully,
just have a good time.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get a chance to have a beer with Travis and Tim and Mr. Bigwood here, and everyone I haven't met yet, and just catch up and talk just nerd out, man. That's all I really want to do.
Talk about war dollies.
I just like, honestly, I love the atmosphere. Like when you walk in to the tournament hall and it's just packed and everyone's playing games. You know, when you go to a football game, and even if you hate football, you have an absolute blast just because of the crowd and everyone's cheering and carrying on.
Yeah.
That's what I just love, man. So, and I love all the stories, right? You're like, oh, what happened? Oh, you know, he charged this and this happened and then I rolled a fucking one. I died and I lost. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Like I just love that. So
See,
I love seeing everyone, hearing how the games went and just like how it all unfolds. I just absolutely love.
I have to say, like, one experience I had, for example, at Masters, was I honestly expected, like, Masters, everyone's going to be full-on serious, like, having serious stories of what happened in their games and stuff. But so many people just had funny crap happening in their game. Like, I remember in one of my games, I had Alariel auto-slayed Dirthy because she rolled double sixes. And, like, it was just cool stories like that where I was like this. I was like, yeah, cool. And everyone just had a laugh. Like, everyone was drinking, having beers. So I guess we kind of can see some really cool stories, even like with people who are full on competitive, just having like laughs as well, which I think would be cool.
Yeah, everyone is pretty much everyone is there in the right spirit and just wants to have fun and make friends, I think. So it's going to be great. And I think you're going to see a lot of new list tech sort of evolve and come out of the woodworks as well. You're going to see some armies and combinations that people hadn't really seen before, and they're going to do really well and get the attention of a lot of people as well. And I think that's exciting. So,
Branch Witch Bomb.
About it.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, that's cool. Sweet.
Who's doing the list? Sorry, who's doing the list review show with you, Doom?
Oh, which one?
Any of them?
220 list.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, thanks. The destruction one, I've got War Boss Donal.
Cool.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And then for Chaos, I've got Haywo Twitch and Dan Brewer for Chaos. And then for Death, I've got Clint, of course, and the Lord of Death himself from Twitter, Mr. Brendan Melnick from America. And
But
then
Clint runs Manfred, so is he actually a good death player?
Hey.
he's not, but
sorry, Macro. You know my views on Manfred.
yeah. And then for order, we've got oh geez, I'm going to forget who it is. Well, we've got Adam Burt to start with, and then Chris if he can make it as well.
That is going to be a long video.
Yeah, the order one is going to be huge.
Yeah.
But Chris kind of has to be there, Chris Welfare, because he has to pick the next shit list, right? So yeah, he absolutely has to be there to do that. And Adam Bird, of course, is the shit list, so he and last year's winner, so he has to be there as well. And I generally don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Sylvaneth and so forth. As soon as I hear them, I shut off. And so we need experts there to actually tell us all what they do and if they're good or not. So I think it'll be good. I mean, we've got basically one person for each show that is a real expert in that Grand Alliance as such. And I mean, it's going to be a slog, but we'll see how we go.
Cool.
Yeah. I think it's going to be excellent. I think there's going to be a lot of cool CanCon coverage. I can't wait to tune in, Doom, to hear all the lists and hear about the shit lists. And I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I know I've been listening to Bush Radio a little bit, so shout out to the boys down in Bendigo. And I know Joel McGrath is working on his Beasts of Chaos, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the Beasts of Chaos armies now that we've had 3-4 kind of months with the book out.
I completely forgot that was an army.
Yeah.
And I think, I personally haven't played a new Beasts of Chaos army, and I think some of those Drake spawn and some of those interesting mechanics might catch people out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what creativity is going to come out.
Joel's going to kick some ass. Because he's a good player and he has solid lists and he plays them a lot. He knows what he's doing, so he's going to do really well. And obviously, Gabe from the Runax is going down. Enlightened heavy Zench army, which will be is something to look out for. So I think they're going to be beasts can be top tables all day long. There are some builds that people the book wants to push you towards, which probably aren't so good. But then there are a lot of others which are just absolutely top tier, happy to just compete with anyone all day long. But and I think Joel will be taking one of those, and I think he'll be taking one that is outside of the norm as well. So I can't wait to see how he goes.
I think it kind of goes back to your comment about there's going to be a bunch of armies that are going to surprise everyone. And I think we've all probably had some experience around some of the latest Stormcast armies with Evocators and Ballistas, and we've got some experience with Dracolines. We've got the experience with chain rasps in Legions. We've got experience with Daughters and the witch combos. But I think there are some pockets, as you said, of some armies we probably haven't seen yet, or some unlockings that could catch everyone by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why I did as well as I did at Moab, simply because no one knew what an order Serpentis army looked like.
That is absolutely true. That no one knew. That was the thing. I could not believe it.
I can't believe how everyone asked me about your army. They're like, "Can his army really do this?" I'm like, "Yes, read the War Scroll. He legit can do this. Yes, the man has rend."
Yep.
But I think that I know when I've played Free People, that catches people off guard is that they don't quite know how to handle that. But now, Firestorm, you can use allies now under Firestorm, so who knows what mixed shenanigans are going to come out of the woodworks.
What's your predictions for armies that we'll see in the top 10?
Okay.
Doors Cane, obviously.
Here we go. So we got Doors of Cain, if it's done by a good general who's not just running Hagnar. Okay. And then we also got a Legion of Nagash. Now I'm going to say Grand Host Nagash, Pacific, and most likely not having Nagash on the table. I think you'll see a lot of Arcan. Did you say top 10 armies or just top in general?
Yeah, just like
Top
top
10.
10. Like top
Okay, and then we got Stormcast
Yep.
running anvils, and then we also have
Sylvaneth?
maybe no, Sylvaneth's terrible. What are you on about? They're terrible.
10.
And then we got Sylvaneth, and then I think we'll also see some Deepkin, but they'll be running heavy eels.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just looking at my collection now because knowing me, I probably have it. I would also have to say, help me out here, guys. Help me out here. Help me out here.
I'm gonna say Ninehorn, honestly. Like, there's gonna be a Ninehorn.
I don't think Nighthorn's going to be in. I think everyone's going for, unless someone's gone like full on Soul Wars starter box kind of thing. But I think you would only see Nighthorn stuff in a Legion of Nagash army because you'll see 30 Grimghast Reapers.
Yeah, I'd love to see that up there, but I don't think they will.
I think there's going to be a lot of Nighthaunt there, but I think you're right. It's going to be Nighthaunt in Legions of Nagash that are.
Didn't Ben Johnson
no-go.
Tournament with Nighthaunt recently? Like
Yeah, but that's Ben Johnson.
Yes.
It's Ben Johnson. The guy who pretty much, like, I'm not saying wrote the rules, but produced it.
Mm.
But and honestly, you know what I'm more impressed with? He has a lot of named characters in that list. So yeah. Nurgle will definitely be up there.
Is Chris Todd?
Piece of chaos.
Chris Todd is playing Nurgle, yes.
Is he?
What?
Yes.
That's a shame because he has a quite a large Thunderscorn army, which I'm hoping that one day he'll actually run under beasts.
I think that's what he'll be taking to another event. Yeah, if Chris is watching, feel free to message me, but I'm pretty sure I have not seen him upload any Thunderscorn images.
What's Gemma take? Is Gemma taking Eels or is she taking Nurgle?
Gemma's not playing.
Gemma's not playing.
Yeah.
Gemma's a
that's
TO.
Oh, thanks, Gemma.
Gemma is telling you that your rules are wrong. That's what she's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Um,
Gemma.
She's a TO. She's a TO that sticks to her commitments.
I love you, Gemma. What's your favorite food? I'll bring you.
I just gathered what you just said, Magro.
So the inside
Michael
joke
Klein.
is that Liam was one of the original assistant TOs, and then he bought a CanCon ticket, and Clint found out that he wasn't helping when he saw his name pop up as a purchase.
In my defense, though, when you heard that there's going to be an event with over 200 people, as if you could not buy a ticket. So yeah. Sorry, Clint, if you're watching this.
What are other people's like? How do other people think that the top 10 might look, or what the most popular? Like, what are we going to see?
Your daughters will be there.
I think beasts definitely have a chance to get up there as well. Some of the stuff that army can do is pretty crazy.
Mm.
I think Gloomspike gets maybe.
Just want to say, just pause the conversation right now, Liam, just to say, hot news in on Messenger, Mr. Sam Morgan, #1 Doors of Cain player in Australia, says, "You're right, Liam's wrong. MoonClan are a bad matchup for daughters."
Yeah.
Yeah. I said they'll literally hit your shield and then he'll hit them harder back.
Yep.
Oh, okay, right. There you go. Sorry.
Isn't that what I said, Magro?
Continue.
I agree, Liam. Don't hit me again.
Not like this. Not in the face.
He beats me.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Gloomspite get up there in the top few tables simply on the back of, I don't know what this army does, and if you've had a bit of time to, you'll have had basically 2 weeks to go through.
I reckon, in all honesty, Gloomspite, from what they've released so far, they have an answer for a lot of the armies that are in the meta at the moment.
Yeah.
They have a lot of an answer. What I do want to see, though, is a lot of Spiderfang. Because if that Bad Moon is on the Spider-Man, on the side where there's heaps of Spiderfang, it's going to go nuts.
So I know one player who's coming over with Spiderfang. So shout out to Seth from the New Zealand community, who's coming over with Spiderfang. So I think most of the MoonClan, the players that I know that are taking the new book are in the MoonClan part of it. But I know at least one Spiderfang player coming.
But they've got a lot of models. They've got a lot of debuffs. They've got strong magic, and now they've got real punch added in. So they tick all the boxes of everything that you want to be compared to be top tier. So there's no reason why they won't, other than people not having time to play test it enough. But
and I think that right there is can you in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, paint up a Loon Shrine, build and paint the new models, and then get comfortable enough? I think that's the question.
Colin's sick for 2 weeks.
That's one way of doing it. I think if this tournament was another month away, I think yes, agreed. I do wonder if that window of 2 weeks is just too short.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what'll win. The fact of a new book and nobody not knowing what to do.
With the mangler on, so with the Loon boss on a mangler, I'll have less than 7 days to get that up to speed because that comes out on the second wave. So I'll have less than 7 days to collect it, build it, paint it, and maybe get it on the table once to play with it.
Yeah. Don't you have some manglers now?
But the mangler, well, yes, I could mock it up, but
could you just literally put one like a Loon boss or like blue tack it?
Of course, I could get an empty base. I could whatever.
No, I'm just saying you could grab one of your, like, for painting wise, you could literally get an old mangler and just put it on.
No, I could, but I'm pretty sure the base has gone up as well. So I think there's been some base changes, so I couldn't just literally just pick it up and put it down.
No, it was just a curious question because I was just like, you could just.
I think the current mangler is on 60s, and I think this one's now on an 80.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, same as my fanatics. Like my current fanatics are currently on 25s. They've now got up to 32s. So there could be some rebasing involved on top of all this extra work.
That's right.
It's almost like GW heard that you'd start doing it for CanCon and then just let it scream aggro.
What are you taking, Elisabeth?
Legion of Blood.
Oh.
Do you know the good Mortark?
Yeah, Nephrata. Basically, I'm not going to give it all away, but Nephrata, Coven Throne, cheeky Nighthaunt, Banshee in there. Stuff like that.
Are you stacking her command ability? Have you bought command points to stack it?
Yep. And
so good.
well, fuck it. I'm taking the Craven King for extra command point. That goes there. And a bit of Bravery Bomb as well.
Sick.
Nice.
I literally wrote Legion of Blood list where I could like Magra saw this list where I could like stack it to pretty much be a -40 hit for some people.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, I was
But
making
like-
sure.
My comment to Liam was, is -4 worth it?
Yes.
No.
Just
I
for
don't
the
reckon
lols.
so.
I mean, if it was Warhammer Fantasy and I could get you to a 7+ or a 9+, where it was like that 6+ and then it was an additional 4+ or 5+, yeah. But when 6s already hit,
Yeah.
It's mainly just like for me, it's about like stacking it to like -2 or -3 to hit is mainly for the ones that are like at hitting on 3s.
Yeah, I normally just do 2 and that's it because I find that's most everything. And Nephrata, you don't want to really get her into combat anyway. And whatever is that -2 to hit can't really get pretty chaff that well.
Yeah. Well, I reckon, yeah, that'll be a good list to see on the table.
I think Death are going to win it. I think Death are going to win CanCon. I think Stormcast are going to be in the top 5. I think Sylvaneth are going to be in the top 10. I don't think we're going to see a Daughters of Cain army in the top 10 at all. And I think then we'll probably have maybe a Khorne player, maybe like Matt Campbell or someone, like might smash face if he brings a hard list and goes there to win.
Honestly, seeing his list that he has now, I reckon he'll be up there.
Yep. Like he could be up there.
I had a game against him last week, and honestly, it is tough as nails list.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has an answer for everything.
We could see a Fire Slays list possibly.
People still play them?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could possibly see a a Grot and Ogre heavy army mixed destruction up there. Just saying. Don't know who could be playing that.
Don't doubt it.
Dreaming.
Well, can I just say, if they are up there, I will be messaging Ben Johnson being like, Gutbusters need to be fixed.
No, it's not Gutbusters. It's not Gutbusters. I'm just saying if a random person who could arguably be the best player in all of Australia, if not the world, decides he's going to take goblins and ogres, perhaps if anyone could do something magical, he could. I don't know who that person could be. Let's wait and see.
Matt Campbell's playing Khorne. He's not playing his destruction anymore.
Yeah.
He's playing Khorne.
Yeah. Maybe someone that can beat Matt Campbell. I don't know. Who could that be?
So I'm gonna put this out there. I think this is the year, or this is the tournament that Dan Brewer goes from bridesmaid to bride.
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
He's a buy-buster. He dropped out.
Damn it! All right, Matt Campbell. Now my pick.
Dan Brewer dropped out. Because he just didn't want to play.
Yeah, that's fair. He's had a big year.
And in all honesty, though, I don't like. Dan is probably like I'm just going to say this, right? Even though he didn't go to Masters or anything, but in my eyes, Dan Brewer is the master because he consistently plays well.
All right, I was ready to mute. I was ready to mute you. So, all right.
Yeah,
I was getting nervous on where this was going.
No, I was saying in my eyes, Dan Brewer is the best player in Australia.
I love Dan. I think he's one of the best for sure.
Yeah,
worldwide, I'm talking worldwide.
Like worldwide, like the fact that he consistently went to even a UK tournament and did super well with an army list where people literally laughed at him saying that's a crap list, and he goes, "Okay, I'll beat you," and he did. So,
Aussie pride.
he is honestly up there as like probably one of the best players in the world. That's just all I'm saying. Put him against Jack Armstrong maybe, and see who the real like top player is.
Speaking of people who beat other people, we've got a new person jump on the stream. Hey, Paul.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh.
Hey.
First time for me.
So who are you? Give the world a shout of who Paul is.
Paulie from Queensland.
I'm Paul. I'm from Sydney.
Oh.
I play Swift Fork Agents. I'm bringing it to CanCon.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the top 10 for sure.
Had a nice win today against Anthony. It was good.
Yeah, he got me. He got me good. Although you weren't playing Swift Talk, you were playing Tempest Eye.
You know, and I forgot to use it the whole time. Didn't use it once.
Where's that sound
Every
from?
time.
Paul, is that you in the background? That sounds like the television.
I'm in a quiet room, mate.
Might be me. I'm back.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh. So, Paul, what do you bring into CanCon? What's the list looking like so far?
Pretty much exactly what we used today. So, I've got a couple of units of Spire Guard, 30 strong. 2 units of 5 Reavers. 2 Sky Wardens. High Warden. 2 Encantors, and the Comet and the Straggles. Oh, and some 10 Shadow Warriors.
I won't ruin your secrets and your game strategy, but today was rough as nails. You have some nice little combos that will catch people off guard.
It went well, I'll tell you that. So yeah, it was good. I can't complain. Just did have a bit of fun, really. So
the Sky Wardens, the ones that are in their own ship.
Yeah, with the totem. So they got the wound aura, +1 to wound. I can stack those. So if you can get everyone into that aura, you can increase all their wound rolls. So it gets all right. So
those Shadow Warriors are pretty nice as well with their Vanguard move.
Yeah, they're all right, but a lot of the time I'll do the Vanguard move. I'll move them forward, and they'll just die. So I haven't really been using it lately.
Hey, Paul, tell them what happened today in our game.
Oh, yeah. We were playing one of the CanCon scenarios, and I think it was Heish, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're playing the first scenario, which is Places of Power with the realm of Heish.
Yeah, and I think we got the Realmscape that if you roll a 6 at the start of the movement phase, you can move one of your units or teleport it. Managed to roll that twice in a row in the first 2 turns, and jump to the back of the board with the Shadow Warriors and sort out the little goblins out the back there, casting all the spells. It was good.
Yeah,
that's rough.
I was just lucky, really.
So we both said at the start of the game, we've never rolled Speed of Light the 6. So you get one dice roll at the start of the movement phase, and on a 6, you get to teleport a unit anywhere around the board, and then just your normal 9 inches away from an enemy. And he rolls a 6 in turn 1, a 6 in turn 2,
and then turn 3 it was over, wasn't it? Really?
We ran out of time.
Yeah.
We ran out of time, but he teleported some beautiful shenanigans.
No, it was good fun. Those sort of things don't usually work, so yeah, it was good.
Folks, I got to run. Thanks very much for having me. I'll talk to you all soon.
Catch you, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Have a
dude.
good one.
We'll miss you.
I'll miss you too, babe.
Dad bod.
Dad bod.
See you guys.
Take it
Thanks for
easy.
letting me. Yeah, I'm gonna make dinner. Have a good one.
See ya.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, I'm excited. I think CanCon is going to be great. And I think, I don't know if you guys have seen these on Twitter, but we've really got international's attention. And there's been a bunch of people who have been tweeting, asking for advice on how to attend CanCon 2020 and accommodation, and trying to start thinking about making it a reality for next year.
Put the pressure on him, but it looks like we may have Vince and Tom coming over, and they might even be doing a painting workshop.
Yeah, I'm going to one of Vince's painting workshops at Adepticon, so I've booked the ticket for.
Man, I'm so jealous of this man crushing that guy.
So I'm really lucky. So I'm not only doing a seminar with Vince, but I'm also doing one with Uncle Adam from Tabletop Minions.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah, so I've booked in 2, and that's going to be awesome. But I would love a painting workshop, because I think that's one thing that's missing. I did a color theory one at CanCon last year, but I'd love more how to green stuff, how to OSL, how to really take your stuff from good to great.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome. Do it on the Friday or something, so everyone can get down and do it.
Yeah, I did the color theory one last year on the Friday, and I think that's where CanCon kind of lacks a little bit, is that you go down for the Saturday Sunday event, but there's nothing that keeps you there on the Monday or the Friday, other than like the buy and sell or some small game.
Is it 40K?
Unless you're 40K and you play 8 games.
Well,
Can I just quickly say though, I'm not just saying this for the whole AOS community, but I reckon if Clint did 8 games, he would not get 220 players.
Agreed.
Hell no.
You might, but I think what you'd see is things like in the American scene where you have drop-off rates of about up to 30%.
Well, I reckon one thing. Oh, thanks, Travis. Can we go to Travis's scene? Can we all look at Travis's scene closely?
I think Travis ran away.
I'm here.
There it is. No, can you lock that in?
I can't, but I think. No,
Oh no, there we go. That is awesome.
That's Selenite's boss, man.
Someone
wow,
actually
so
knows
it's
what it is.
battery.
Maybe we just need to get Travis to do workshops for us on how to do terrain.
So that's the inside bit of the temple thing. It's not all glued in yet, but hence
That
the
looks sick.
proper stuff. But I didn't know if it was actually going to light it up enough and like actually have a visible effect, but seems to work.
It works.
It's definitely visible. It's casting a cool shadows.
Yeah, that's what I wanted it to do. So yeah,
Everyone going to CanCon, you've now seen one of your major competitors on the display
Course, I
boards.
Mm.
This is what you need to do.
Just what we need to do is get Travis really, really intoxicated, and then he just doesn't turn up and be sweet.
Travis, if you win, I expect this. I expect my name to be in the speech because I helped you do this.
you did.
I did. How?
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, you did. Technically, you did.
See, Travis agrees. I've helped, and I helped do this.
So I got a bunch of stuff made or cut, and the group I used to do it, I've used it for a few different things now. One of them was stuff for Anthony, and then they obviously held over that address for some reason and sent all of the bits and pieces I ordered to him. So I had to very kindly, Anthony very kindly repackaged it all up and sent it back to me. So yes, if I hadn't been able to do that, I wouldn't have these pieces right now. So I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I got this random box to my house, and I opened it. I'm like, oh, maybe Travis has sent me a gift for being his awesome co-host for the Masters stream. And I open it up, and I'm like, corn. I'm like, what is this? And there's like some temple-y thing. I'm like, this is not mine. I'm like, Travis, did you send me a gift? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, I have your stuff.
It would have been disastrous if you had been away for like 2 weeks because the book is closed. So I can't get it reset until like next week. But fortunately, you were there and it all came together.
Looks good.
That looks great. And Dayne, what do you, mate? Show it. I'm gonna lock on your screen now. Show us what you're working on. That looks beautiful.
That's just a couple of pieces of, what do you call it? Expansion foam and just an Azurite ruins with the Wildwood.
How many Azurite ruins are we going to see?
Many, many, many. They're a sick kit, man. It's one of the best kits out there at the moment, I reckon.
Yeah, looks good, man. I love how there's a tree there. I wish Demon Darkness was here to see how awesome the Sylvaneth touch is.
I like your roots as well. I really like the roots that are going down.
Cheers, man. Well, this is actually one of my Sylvaneth pieces I was planning for Moab and just didn't get around to. So I'm taking my other two pieces that I got, took to Moab as well. So bring them in this one and that'll do.
Looks sick.
And I'm going to throw Randy's screen on for a second. So I want to highlight what he's working on because this is one of my... is it?
Hang on. I'll
Oh, whoa. That puts me to shame. That's sick.
Who makes that again? I forget his name.
That's Dark Fantastic Mills.
Dark Fantastic Mills. So he's very, very big. I'm just waiting for the wash to settle down, but I did finish one of these a little bit earlier. So
that's cool. You do appear to have a small lake in his lap though.
Yeah, so I'll once that's done, I kind of want it to pool in there a little bit because once all of them are finished, there's going to be some dirt and some vines, hopefully, if I get that far, coming off of it because I want them to all look overgrown. So part of the theme of my army is that rather than just generic Tomb Kings out in the desert, their sort of temple city is near a realm gate into the realm of life.
That's cool.
So there's a lot of trees and vines and grass and everything. So it's not just your generic, hey, we come from the desert and it's plain sand everywhere.
Looks sick.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah, that's really cool. So maybe a question for yourself and Aussie. How do you tell that story to your opponent? So I know narrative gaming is getting bigger and bigger, and Liam, you mentioned you name your characters now. Like, how do you tell that story to your opponent and go, mate, this is where I'm from and what I'm doing, and like why my army's themed this way? Like, how do you tell somebody?
Write them a love letter.
Other than like the naked stuff that Doom's doing.
I think you can do it in the game. Like I wouldn't start a game and show my opponent my list and say, oh, this guy, is from Hammerhall Gyra and he moved to Greywater Fastness when he was I wouldn't do that because my opponent most of the time is just not going to care. So what I've done is I've posted some of my narrative around the places and posted videos talking about my narrative, so people that actually care will know, as long as they sort of have seen my stuff. And then as you play the game, you can use what happens in the game to build on the narrative of your army. And as you're playing, you can talk to your opponent about, hey, that was cool because this character is here, and what a great moment that was, and so you can unfold it and unpack it a little bit more as you're playing. But I couldn't think of anything worse than someone sitting down at the start of a game, going through the entire back history of their army. You're there to play, and I mean, I love that narrative stuff, but I think you need to do it in the right way, and I think that is as the game is unfolding.
Yeah, so similar to what Tim said, I'm very much of in all honesty, I do that for me more than anything. I love shaping that for myself in my mind. Like, this is what this army is about. This is who this guy is. I'd really do it for myself. Just to touch on what you said about Michael, though, I do have my Pharaoh hat, which some of you guys might have seen when I met you guys at Moab. And I was thinking of bringing out the whole, because there's a morph suit that's got mummy bandages on it. I was thinking of bringing that to CanCon, but I don't think I'll survive the temperatures, so that might not happen. But I mean, for me, it just motivates me to come up with cooler conversions or come up with, give me some rationale behind, why did I pick these colors? What do they mean to me? But it's interesting because talking with people for So obviously the Tomb King community is pretty small, but there's a few people out there that still play them a fair bit. The backstory that I wrote from my army, one of these Tomb King players who lives over in the US just latched onto it completely, and he went, "Look, Randy, I love that. I love the whole backstory behind it. Do you mind if I steal it? Because we're going to do a Tale of Four Warlords around it." So I think for me, engaging other people is just, I mean, I've just had it written, and I was just chatting to other people with similar interests who played the same army, and I only just chuck it out there if people ask. I'm with Tim. Like I couldn't imagine having to go to a tournament and having someone try and tell you the backstory and the history for their army, because I think he's right. 9 times out of 10, your opponent probably doesn't care.
Andrew, you're the same, aren't you? You come up with, like, you write a narrative for your army before you even put paint to model, don't you?
Yeah, I always start with story first. And every one of my characters, even the sergeants, I have, if not something written, most of it's written, but when I'm putting something together, I have an idea in my head of who they are and why they are the way they are. But it's, I mean, my Free City background now is up to about 12 pages, not including the specific faction pages. But I think it comes down to reading your opponent as well, because sometimes you'll set up across the table with someone and all they want to do is, you know, play the game and do the sort of pretty chess thing. And that's fine. And so, you know, they're not at all interested. But by the same token, sometimes you'll set up and the first thing your opponent says is, wow, what's that symbol mean? And you're being invited in then to give them a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't then stand there for an hour telling them everything because, yeah, nobody's interested in that much. And like you guys are saying, I mean, a lot of it's for my benefit. I want to have the story. I want to have the background. I know, in my head, I know exactly what everything in Molten Heart looks like and where it is and what the layout of the city is and which factions live where and things like that. And the challenge for me then is finding models for units to represent that, which is why just recently I was hunting out some of the last edition metal witch elves, because my daughter's units are going to have female Duarden in it, the new plastic sisters and some of the older metal ones, because they're going to represent the 3 different factions in the city. And if someone asks why they're there, I can tell them. But if they don't, yeah, whatever.
So one of the things I'm doing for CanCon is putting together a tournament book. So at the start of this army, there was a bunch of new things that I wanted to do, and bookbinding was one of them. So yeah, a lot of people complain that, you know, they have to take 4 or 5 books to a tournament. I'm going to combine it into my own self-bound book, and within that book will be, you know, 5 or 6 pages of just general background about my army, and that book is going to be part of my display board. So if anyone is interested, you know, they can just grab the book and have a flick through and read it all for themselves. It's not sort of everything that I've done. It's the highlights, but yeah, I thought that would be a cool idea.
So something I saw today that I'm fully stealing, I'll share this with the internet, is somebody in my my Gloomspite WhatsApp group had created a War Scroll army list. So they had kind of like photoshopped with a War Scroll, but then put in their units as like the list choices, had a little bit of their story at the top with a photo of their army, and some of the rules as well, like what the command trait was, what the artifact was. And I thought that was an awesome way to not only tell their story and personalize, but to also then hand over to their opponent and say, well, here are some of the most common rules you might need to know about my army, my legion's ability, my command traits. I'm going to steal it. I like it.
What is it? Travis at RCGT 2, I think it was. I remember him handing out little booklets of his Sylvaneth army and explaining what all the artifacts and stuff did and like what his unit did. And he handed out to every single one of his opponents.
Wasn't it like a gardening magazine, Travis? Am I confusing something else from?
confusing that with Steve Cook from the UK. I think I had a little booklet thing, that I had for my Sylvaneth army. Can't remember. Did I do that at RCGT? I can't remember.
RCGT number 2. I remember someone came up to me and it's like, "Hey Liam, you know how some people think you're a dickhead for not explaining your army?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they go, "Yeah, you should probably just give them one of these things and they'll totally understand." I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea.
I can't remember. Yes, I do have booklets. Well, I did have booklets for that army.
Yeah.
So be more like Travis, be less like Liam.
Yeah. We had a recent discussion on the Sydney page about rules, didn't we? About people explaining rules when it comes to certain situations and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people came off to the same conclusion, saying when it comes to this in a competitive manner, is most people just explain the gist of what their army does at the start of the game, and if any questions, they open up, being like, "Hey, do you have any questions?" Like, I try and explain my army as much as I can, because for me, it's like all memorize my head, and sometimes you just forget things. Like, I think the one most common question is your army neg 1 to hit most of the time? And I'm just like, if they're near Wildwood, there's a 90% chance they're neg 1 to hit. So, yeah, like, I think when it comes to narrative as well, what you guys are talking about, I think it's really cool. Like, I myself just slowly getting into that, like with my conversions and stuff. Like my snake branch race and now branch witch. Everyone's like, "Oh, why do you do that?" I'm like, "Oh no, they're from the realm of shadow," which I like the theme of. So they've been tainted by like either Slanesh, or like they just teamed up with, like they were like near doors that came for a bit.
You like the theme of, or you like the artifacts for?
In all honesty, dark palette is more my thing. Like, I really like dark palettes now. And like they generally are Realm of Shadows, like purples, pinks, and everything are very much Realm of Shadows. So since I do like that color palette, I've always painted pink. As most people know, every army that I start has Screamer Pink in it, because it is one of the best colors GW's made. So I, even though the artifacts are great, even though one of them got nerfed to the ground, but yeah, I do like the aesthetic, so that's why I've kind of gone for like the Realm of Shadow thing. And like, if, for example, like people ask me why did I do a Leviathan Cauldron, and I just say, "Hey, Marathi went and checked out the Deepkin and just asked to borrow Leviathan for a day," and that's why it's there. So like, there's always just cool things you can do with the hobby now, and adding the narrative to it's just a bonus for me. So yeah, kind of cool that you guys have a whole story. Like, wish I was that creative. Yeah.
I think sometimes the story can just be the excuse for the conversion as well.
Oh, 100%. Like, people ask me, like, "Why'd you do Dirthu and Marathi?" I'm like, "Because I can."
That's a good story.
But if you dig deep in, like, why, like, what's this? Surely there's a story that sits under the snake form, because you've then followed it through with your branch rates and witches.
And honestly, I would just say, in the Realm of Shadows, the woods are so dark and stuff, and like mysterious magic happened in the wild, like in the Sylvaneth Grove, in both any of the groves, so such as Winterleaf Groves or Harvestbin Groves, and some of the tree spirits got tainted by nature, nature's blessing, and that's why some of them have got a snake-like figure to them, and generally instead of like them, like Durfu, instead of like impaling Tal in him, it's actually like crushing them. So like with like the impaling rule, it's kind of like, for me visually, I can just imagine Durthu wrapping himself around his enemies and just crushing them. And if the impaling rule of like roll over the current rune characteristic or like runes left, he just crushes them to oblivion. So that's kind of like my visual creativeness of why I kind of did the snake conversion.
Sounds pretty narrative to me.
So yeah, so like I myself, like visually, I can't really like see. Like, the impaling rule is really awesome if you have like a normal tree lord like punching in, but since Durf is a snake form, I can just imagine him literally just like wrapping himself around like a hero, for example, and just going like, "Yep, cool, crush you to oblivion." So, yeah, I just find that really cool.
No, I love it. I think that's I like that, and I'm sure there's a story as well if you unpack why your army is like a pinky shade as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I myself, I don't know if most people, like I know some people get influenced by movies and stuff with their color scheme, But for me, since I'm like, I love anime, I love so much other like pop culture stuff that I love cherry blossoms. Like I literally have cherry blossom tattoos like all over me. So the pink and stuff touched to my Sylvaneth with the cherry blossoms is just like my love for Japan culture. So yeah. And like looking at it now, like even my Slanesh models have pink in them. Like it's just a color that I just paint. So yeah, I just enjoy it.
Yeah,
You and Vince go on a pink date with Vince.
Big pun?
I said you should go on a pink date with Vince. It's like his favorite color too.
But Vince would want to bring
honestly,
turquoise with him, and
honestly,
that could get awkward.
Me and Vince, I just literally every time he puts something on Twitter and stuff, I'm just like trying to see how much pink he's put in.
Oh, do you see his Demonettes? I think it was last night. They're
yeah,
gorgeous,
honestly, he's killing it. Like they're not as good as my Demonettes and stuff, but they're insane.
It's crazy game.
Like honestly, can I just say his Witch Elf Demonettes are better than the actual Witch Elves.
Yeah.
Like they just work. Like his creative mind and his Keeper Secrets are insane.
Oh, dude, that thing is ridiculous.
So like I myself have bought one. Like I literally have it right here, the Creature Caster.
Are you gonna cut all the fiddly bits off like he did?
Nah. Oh, maybe. I'll see how I feel. Actually, I'll show you what I did today before we went live. I built this bad boy. I've started building it.
Yeah. Those Creature Caster ones are beautiful.
There's a couple of bits aren't connecting as well, so I might need to pin it or I might need to do something to it. So I had a break before we went on show because I know I'll make a lot of noise if I was doing that.
How did they go from like expense and shipping and stuff? Was that too bad?
If you have a mate or if you know anyone who's wanting some as well, I would totally jump in it with them because if you buy 4 or more models, you get 20% off each model.
Yeah, my Dreadlord for my Serpentis for Creature Caster. And I have to get everything shipped here anyway because I live in the boondocks. But it was from overseas, the postage is pretty good.
Yeah, like I myself, just letting you know, so I've got the Queen of Ecstasy and the Lady of Corruption, and me and Rob got something as well. Rob Reimers, who's a Stormcast player, he's also getting to Slanesh. We each, by the end of it, for 2 models in that detailed resin kit, especially the Queen of Ecstasy, we got them each for $180.
Nice, that's actually not too bad.
And also, I'm gonna pull this out.
Like the Keeper of Secrets is probably going to be around that.
Yeah, so I'll show you guys this. This is the first thing I spotted when I opened up my Queen of Ecstasy. That base.
Oh, all that base, man. Slap the base.
Like that base is like the definition of pleasure, as Slanesh would like to say. So I'm looking forward to painting it. Yeah. Let's see what else I got for you guys. What else can I show and tell today? It's just an awesome kit. Like, and also, honestly, you don't have to wash them.
Really?
Yeah, you don't have to wash them. There's no shine. There's no shine to them. They're already matte.
Old release agent.
I washed mine anyway.
So there's the main body core.
Huh.
So there's no shine to it. You can wash them if you want.
I give him a rub. I give him a rub of at least some isopropic alcohol, just to.
Oh man, I'm sure you're just going to give that a casual rub anyway, not necessarily wash it.
But yeah, like that base. When I opened it and I saw that base, I was like, because I was originally going to do my own basing, but I was like, nah, screw it. That is an insane base. I can't deny it.
Is it the right size though?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the actual base and blue tack it for gaming, but for display, I'll have this.
Trim down the base. I want to show I want to show everyone something as well. Randy mentioned something earlier.
Oh, that's insane.
So,
that's literal gold.
There's Smorgan.
It is Smorgan. So, shout out to our favorite Smorgan.
There's only one Smorgan. I do want to ask these guys, what's with the fox emoji? I just have to ask, like, what is it? If they can, like, somehow tweet me on just explaining it, it'll be great. I don't get it.
I'm going with that they like Lilac Wars and Star Fox McCloud from the Nintendo series.
There. Okay.
Pretty sure that's what the Fox is all about. And if they say otherwise, I'm going to ignore it and pretend they are all big fan Fox McCloud. I don't care. But this is Randy. Randy, this is the hat. Maybe we should make a poll, or maybe we've got people in the chat. Do you like Randy with that hat? Should he go buy a morph suit that looks like a mummy
Yes.
And where's that at CanCon in a big tin shed playing
Especially-
Warhammer?
Well, I don't
in-
need to buy it, Anthony. I've got it in the cupboard. It's
Wow.
already a thing. I've already got it.
Well, should he wear it
Well,
as a tester on our next stream?
Oh God.
Absolutely. You just have to lock on him the whole show. Poor dude won't move.
This is amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think like for me, like that's just another way that I kind of have fun with the tournament experience, because it's such a big trip for me to go that I probably look like an idiot for most of the day because the flaps on it lean forward, so when I'm over the table trying to do stuff, they start like flicking things, which is quite annoying. But yeah, it's just another way that I try to have fun with it, because I'm not a seasoned general or anything like that, so I just try and run with that narrative and just make it a fun, memorable experience for me and hopefully for my opponent as well. Because I've got these dice as well, so they've got little scarabs in. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's little scarabs on my dice. So I shamelessly stole it from Morgan, but after my games, I'd give one of them to my opponent as well, just because, it's had a good game, bit of fun. You don't probably play against Tomb Kings very often because they're just not an army that people see, since they don't have real rules, as I'm quite frequently told. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's just another way to try and make it memorable.
No, that's great. So as we kind of start heading towards the end of the show, I guess I want to ask you all, how are you going to use the next 2 weeks? Do you have any games played or prepared? Do you have any last things you need to kind of wrap up? How are we going to use these last 2 weeks?
I still have to paint 30 harpies, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, man. And my cauldron.
I'm so sorry. I should not be laughing, but
no, you're right, man. It's going to be fucking ridiculous.
Quick question: are you painting through washes?
Yeah, I'm doing Vince controls like Xenophil and inks, so it won't be too bad. But...
Okay, that's honestly.
I've still got nearly 40 models to paint.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel really bad. Just to tell you guys, I only have to paint 2 models.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I change.
What type of model? What type of models are they though?
Mine.
Yeah.
I got to paint this girl. So I'm gonna paint this branch, which will take like no time. And I got to paint Umbral Spell Portals and a Balewind Vortex, and I'm done.
That's 3 models, Liam.
Well, you know what? We're just gonna go through saying the Umbral Spell Portals that counted as 1, because they're the same goddamn thing. But yeah, I'm super excited just to smash it out. I'm probably gonna get this End of Spells done tomorrow, smash her out most of it, and I can go back to my Sinesh, my true love.
I can top that because I'm done. So I'm just gonna try and play with a display board and see how I fit that in checked package.
You guys are making me like panic straight up.
I found
tip of Doors of Cain painting. Honestly, do 5 at a time and just have a break, or else you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Dude, I just finished my what? You remember it was like a month ago. I said I was gonna base coat all my witch elves and shit. I just finished all.
Yeah, it's. As a guy who painted not all my witch elves, I borrowed mine, and there's a reason for it, because painting that many is ridiculous.
You don't realize how many metallics they have until you do like all the bracelets and the earrings and shit.
Yeah, so when you do the bracelets, earrings, then the blades, and then also and also the poles. Yeah, it's so much.
That's ridiculous.
So if anyone goes, hey, witch elves are broken for their rules, there's a reason. It's because anyone who gets to paint that many deserves a reward.
Yeah. I'll take that command point.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's just my opinion. Hag Queens, I understand why people complain because it's not that much, but
here's my little Hag Queen here. I don't know if you see her. We're up there.
Hey,
you know, she looks so juicy for a Balewind, like a Branch Witch bomb.
Come and get her, bro. Come and get her.
And if anybody wants to know about this Branch Witch bomb, the other day Liam, Chris Welfare, and I recorded a faction focus on Sylvaneth. So feel free to listen in to all of the rules and all of the cheap tricks that Liam is going to be dropping on you. So quick shout out to my video, watch it, and you can beat Liam, and he'll be 0-6.
Can I say I would also like to say I would like everyone to blame Welfare for my list because honestly, I was messaging him all of today discussing it, and then we finally finalized it. So, yeah. So blame Chris Welfare just because he can't turn up to events. I'll just be trying lists for him and telling him how it goes.
Andrew, next 2 weeks, what's on the radar?
Well, I'm on holidays, so that's a plus. But I've still got to do 20 Witch Elves.
Old school one, yeah.
They're mixed up. Some of the old ones, some of the new ones, and a few converted female dwarves as well.
That's cool.
And I think about nearly 20 Stormcasts. So, yeah.
Liberators or Secators?
No, there's no funky new shit. I've almost finished these 5 Liberators. So I've got to do 5 more Libs, 3 Prosecutors because I have to have them.
Yeah. It's honestly, can I just say, awesome choice of mixed battalion suiting a narrative city list. I think that's awesome. Huge shout out to you because I think that's really awesome what you've done.
That's the only reason I did it because I've worked with the list, with the city. Yeah.
That's just awesome. Like when you said Shadowhammer, I'm like, 1, awesome because that's my podcast name, but 2, it's honestly a really strong battalion and also so much stuff you can do with it, like movement to objectives.
We'll see if I get it all done yet.
We have faith. We have faith in you.
I have faith.
We'll see. Well, maybe next session will be like, well, this is the new list.
Well, the next session potentially the next session will either be the 1 week to go, shit's getting real, lists locked in, or depending on the level of panic, we'd do one next week.
I'm submitting my list now.
Awesome. So will I. I'll submit my list with my army that I don't know. Why not? But I do have I just got a text message with well, not a text message. I got like a message, a WhatsApp with all of the new allegiance abilities and the spell laws and all of the gloom spite stuff. So I now have everything except the points. So I've got all the battalions now as well, so I can start
looking at spells and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So let's see what I can start to play with. But
I think if you ran a battalion just to lower your drops, and I think I would take up some space for models. That would help you out.
It could. I looked at the battalions though, and yeah, I mean, I'd have to go down a heavy squig route or a heavy grot route, and my army at the moment is about 50-50. So I'll play around with it. I'll see what they can come up with, and I'll look at the rules as well. Like I've only literally just got them, so I'll see what they exactly are and what the benefits are going to be. And
I'm excited to chat Gloomspite with you next week when I get my book. I'm not going to buy the army, just going to read it. But yeah, cool.
No, should be good. Tim, final commitments. What are you going to be doing next 2 weeks?
I'm hoping to be all done, completely ready to go, car packed in 2 weeks because we're leaving for Canberra on the Sunday in 2 weeks. I've got the Enchantress and Ilariel to go, as I said before. I'm most of the way there on my display board, and so I'm just working on terrain. I've still got a few pieces of terrain that I need to finish up. I'm lending 3 tables worth of terrain, and I've just got a few that I need to clean up, plus my own terrain, and I've got one of my own terrain pieces is a secret project that I'm super stoked for that I don't think I'll post any photos of until CanCon itself. So yeah, but I think mostly it'll be sort of terrain stuff.
Awesome.
Sick.
And Travis,
super excited to see your list, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Travis?
So I've just got this one model. As I keep saying, I got one model to paint, which I'll hopefully get done sort of by mid next week. Would be ideal. And then I just have to. Well, I've got plenty of terrain that I could just drag out and use, but I want to build one piece in particular to fit my army. But I need to do that which will be a bit of a challenge. And then obviously the display board as well. So that will be my big focus, I think, because that's going to take a fair bit of work to get done. But there we go.
Awesome. And I might as well show you what I'm currently working on. So I might move my webcam a little bit. I don't know.
Because you don't have a fancy one like Travis?
I don't have a fancy one, but you can start to see my my display board coming about. So I've got the I've got some mushrooms from Dark Fantastic Mills. I've got the what are they called? The Lord of the Rings Goblin Town rafters that I'm going to start building around. So I've got some mushrooms happening. So I'm going to try to build all of that.
That's going to be hell to transport. It looks amazing, though.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. It's also a priority thing with the new Moon Clan stuff. So and Gloom Spite.
See, I'm driving like 3 people, I think. I'm driving Hayden, Ash, and Dan Brewer down to Queensland. I mean, not to Queensland, to Canberra.
But not Rob Symes.
So not Rob Symes or Nathan that you offered.
Apparently, Dan Say sorted it out for them.
Sweet.
Me and because I messaged Rob saying, "Hey, I could do this for you." Like, I don't want to explain the whole story, but Rob said, "No, Dan Say got it all sorted for him." So I was like, sick. Because I was going to say I can easily drive you guys down on Thursday for a quick road trip if no one else is available. But yeah, so I got a few people to drive down. So I'm guessing I have to pack in like 4 display boards.
I hope you have like a bus.
I have a hatchback car, and hopefully it doesn't break down this year.
Because what happened last year?
Yeah, and honestly, that was still the highlight of the weekend because that was so much fun. So yeah, it's going to be a good road trip. Especially catching up with Hayden.
That should be good. And for anyone who wants to hang out and catch up, I can't recommend enough coming and hang out with a lot of us over at the Caratel on the Friday night. So BYO, bring your own food, bring your own drink. We're not a charity, but definitely do come and join us at the Caratel. We're going to have a barbecue. There's going to be a whole bunch of AOS players, and it'll be great to hang out and meet everybody in the community, make some friends before we start rolling dice and having fun together on the Saturday. So,
and also turn up with a hangover, yeah?
Pardon?
Also turn up with a hangover for Saturday, yeah?
Oh yeah, I might bring some liquor and start
Cool.
getting people. Although people like Joel McGrath and the Measured Boys and even the Mango Mafia, I think they're powered by alcohol, so I think depriving them from drink would benefit, but everyone else will get them slaughtered.
Cool. Awesome. I don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure Charles Black's also doing a New Zealand versus Australia warm-up event.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. So that's at Jolt Gaming. If you want to see, I think I'm potentially on the list at the moment. I
think it's you and I potentially on the list, and Hayden.
Oh, great. There you go.
So whoever's playing Lee, just flog him for me, please.
You mean to flog your cousin?
Yeah, please. I can't, so someone needs to.
Yeah, I think I just want to catch up with Dan from AOS Shorts because he's honestly, I don't know if anyone knows him, but he's like done such a good job for the community with his website and stuff.
Oh, absolutely, man.
So it'd be good to catch up with him.
Yeah, I think we all owe him a drink or a beverage of some description that he enjoys.
Yeah, like for what he's done for us, especially putting Oceania on the map for Warhammer community. Because I'm pretty sure he was one of the first content creators that like the UK and America actually like supported.
Yeah. Sorry, Anthony.
Me?
I'm just kidding.
No, not at all. I'm relatively new to the bandwagon. I actually started my channel probably a year ago, almost to this date. I think I kicked off the first video as I headed off to Vietnam. I had 2 videos about preparing for a tournament. So, but people like Doom and Darkness have been doing Warhammer for a long time. You've had, Dan from AOS Shorts. You've had, there's so many people like Heralds of War, Mortally Wounded. Well, no, not Dwellers Below. Dwellers Below came in late. Not discrediting Dwellers Below. They were pioneers in Warhammer Fantasy battles, but all of those guys were trendsetters in AOS and built some amazing content. And it's great that they've rejoined us. However, you know, Dan from AOS Shorts and Heralds and Doom definitely pioneers in the early days of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Welfare, Chris Welfare and James Mabry, Mortally Wounded, all those guys.
Yeah.
All deserve the Warhammer achievements and Warhammer hero medals.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Anything you guys want to share before we start wrapping things up?
Looking forward to seeing you guys all there, and see you guys in 2 weeks for the 1 week to go.
Oh, jeez.
Danye, I want a positive thinking. I am going to check up on you every 2 days to make sure you don't need a counseling session because of the witch elves.
Witch elves are done, the harpies to go.
When you
Okay, with the harpies.
Harpy count, Liam. You should be like, harpies are at how many?
And then afterwards, you can give me a hug, and I can understand your pain because honestly, it is a bitch.
Hey, it's ridiculous, man. And I want to spend at least 2 weeks on my cauldron conversion as well.
Yeah, that's right. I finished my harpies, I left them out, and then my cat came in and hurricaned them and broke them all. All the tails and everything snapped.
That's a sad day.
And for anyone who knows or seen the harpy kits, they are nearly impossible to fix if the tails are snapped. So yeah.
Yeah, here's one. They're just connected on by that little tiny fucking tail. Stupid things.
So put it back just so we can all see properly.
Here's the bastard.
They're awesome models.
Oh man, my favorite models in the whole line. That's why I own 40 of them.
Are you doing a life taker bomb?
Maybe.
Yes. I wrote a life taker bomb list. It's so pretty.
It's
so
not
good.
a Drachikineth though, or a Hag.
Doesn't matter. It's a life taker bomb. I don't care.
It's gonna be fun.
So good. No one's gonna expect it. It's gonna be fucking brilliant.
I'm doing a Tom Lyons though and taking 2 units of 10. I'm not running 20.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, man.
That's all right. It's all right. We're still friends. It's all good.
Cool. All right. Now we're all kind of friends and we're hugging it out. And James Morehouse is calling us a bunch of nerds. And mate, shout out to everyone who's been on the stream and has been watching. So I can see Joel McGrath's been on for a while. Sean over up in North Queensland. Rang has been on for a while. Zenith, Paul, you know, there's Scott. There's so many cool people here on the chat. Dan AOS Shorts was in for a while. Thanks for all the support. It's been, if I think about the goal of this show and what it was all about, it's about bringing everyone from Australia together and building communities. And it's been awesome to have Tasmania, rural New South Wales, Canberra, people from New Zealand have joined. So Tubbs had joined previously. I really enjoyed myself, and it's sad that potentially next episode will be the last one before we actually come together for CanCon.
Yeah, well, you have to do it like a sit and chat or something like Doom does with the whole crew.
Like an anniversary, like, or maybe we do like a show, like Where Are They Now? Like everyone comes on stage and
not doing any hobby for 2 weeks is what everyone's going to be doing.
Do a where it become, like, what places became and all that jazz. So I'll be down the bottom tables, but
that's a lie. You got daughters.
faith in the canary.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great, and I feel like it's almost like after CanCon, there's going to be this lull. So it's
going to be good.
Oh, I can't wait to actually sleep, though. I've had 4 hours sleep for the last week.
There's not going to be that much of a lull, though. If I'm not mistaken, the SAGT is in March. That's only going to be a month away.
Guys, I need to get Slanesh done by then, okay? Don't put that pressure on me.
I'm going to do something. So, unless, again, something happens and my army becomes legended, Michael's allowing Tomb Kings, so I'm just going to take a monster list and just take Necrosphinxes and Bone Giants and push big stupid things at people, and they're so bad. Their rules are terrible.
Necrosphinx are amazing. Ask Anthony.
Yeah.
Necrosphinx are good, but I haven't played them in the most recent editions where I think Cetra had some changes to her scroll.
Yeah,
by her, I'm calling him a her because he's a girl.
I was going to say, there's nothing wrong with that. Females are awesome. Nephrite is a boss. example A.
Manfred.
Hey, what's
Manfred. Oh, sorry.
Let me get my best death out from Sydney Slaughter with Manfred.
That's cool.
I can't wait for Soul Blight to be redone, man. I'm in on that when that happens.
I'm looking forward to when Manfred just doesn't go in any like battle times because he's just such a traitor.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming for you.
James Morehouse is recommending that our next show or our post CanCon shows is the "Where Did It All Go Wrong" episode.
Oh,
Perhaps we'll get like maybe James can send us all a box of tissues and we can all have like a deep, meaningful conversation.
And all our stories are the same. It's all said, we got pedal with Dave Kerr and we had 0 chance.
That's the dice. Like Dave Kerr took off his shoes and I knew it was over.
Pretty much.
I think for me it'll be game 1, turn 1. I deployed and then went, oh, I wrote Tomb Kings.
I think maybe what we should do as well is maybe I'll bring like a garbage bin and next to the TO table, I'll put that garbage bin down and everyone who wants to throw away their dice because they've bought new dice, put it in the dice bin and maybe we give those dice to charity or something because I reckon there's going to be a whole lot of dice being sacrificed.
So how much MoonClan dice are we going to see?
0.
Okay. What about those squig dice? A lot.
Not 0 because no one's bought them because they're like $50 for a bunch of dice.
$50?
I don't know how much they are, but I think I know in New Zealand they're about $60.
They're 46 or something. I did see them on the pre-order list today.
$50.
Okay,
Yeah,
$50.
about $50.
Can I just say, you can make those exact same dice using green stuff.
You're also not going to see them at the event because they're not allowed.
Are they actually banned?
Yeah.
Thank God.
If I bought them, they would be wound tokens.
Yeah.
I would not use them as dice.
Honestly, if I saw someone rock it with Deepkin dice, I'd be like, no, you're borrowing my dice.
No, just any of those themed dice can fuck off. That's just ridiculous.
No, Marathi's dice are fine. You just need to explain to someone that the snake is a 1.
That's still silly. Herald's War dice.
They roll a lot of 6s, and I found out today from Paul Grixti that so do Black Sun dice.
Yeah.
So,
what about Clan Filth dice? Are they banned yet?
I don't know.
Travis?
I don't know. Are they just normal 6-sided dice?
Yeah, kinda.
Well, what do you mean kinda? So do they have like? I mean,
They just roll really well.
Oh, I don't care about that. But it's just the stupid
awesome.
things that you can't read. And those MoonClan ones, I would highly doubt that they're actually balanced and statistically even. But like just dumb you can't read from more than 3 centimeters away are just not happening.
I bet they're squishy too.
They're wound counters. You're not going to.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to use them as wound counters for that, that's fine. But no one's rolling them.
I'd love to see him bring out some D12s or something so we can actually use themed dice for wound markers. That'd be sick.
I'm pretty sure they do. Oh, maybe it's 40k that has them. I don't know.
No, they only have D10s.
Yeah, and they're like just white and blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah. They do need to make, and honestly, just so we can end the show quickly, they do need to make more than D10s because most monsters are 14 wounds or more.
OMG, I've now got the points for MoonClan. So for Gloomspite.
Go on.
Awesome.
I was meant to go to bed. I'm now building lists. My wife is going to kill me. I've been playing Warhammer all day. Shout out to Adam Kakwa down in Wollongong. Been playing a 3-day mini tournament down there. Awesome event. I got home, had dinner for like half an hour. I came here and now I'm going to bed and she's going to kill me because I'll be building lists. And now I've been told that Doom and Darkness sent me a message saying that Facehammer's review is up already. So
just get your wife one of those Doom and Darkness posters, like the Fireman posters.
What's that?
Just get one of your wife one of the Doom and Darkness Fireman posters.
So he stayed at my house for Sydney GT. So I don't know if she needs any more imagery. I think she's got enough. She's got enough of that beautiful human.
Oh my gosh, Dayne, you give me the best idea. We are going to get my camera out and we're going to make a Doom and Darkness firefighter-style puppy calendar at CanCon.
My partner's a graphic designer if you need help. Sorry, dude.
We're gonna raise money for charity. Raise money for Anthony, all the money the grots he has to buy.
Oh my god, can we please actually get this done?
Which part?
have to make sure
Which part's the
probably,
charity or the nakedness of doom?
Nakedness of Doom and charity.
Yeah, nakedness of doom for charity.
I
Yeah.
reckon we could raise quite a bit of money.
Oh Jesus!
The only thing he should be allowed is his gut plate.
Oh, you know what we'll even do? We'll even get a Heralds of War background so we can just make it look super official.
Oh,
Alright.
yeah. We can do.
I think this has come to the natural conclusion. I want to leave the show on this high. You're all walking away thinking about the amazingness that is Doom, and his Gutbuster plate. Nothing more. Sensational calendar that's going to be in stores at the Heralds of War website very, very soon. All proceeds are going to the Masters rankings, and if you buy in the next 2 weeks, you
Delivery is free.
Delivery is free, and you get an additional 20 ranking points for your next performance.
Perfect. Sounds good.
And Sean from North Queensland is saying that he can set us up with the charity. I don't know what charity he's got up there.
Perfect. We got
like,
this sorted. Let's
save-
do this.
Save the tugboat, save the Gutbusters.
Yeah, tugboat should not be in the sentence at all.
Like,
Honestly, do you know the reference though, right?
No.
Yeah.
Tugboat is a wrestler from the 80s and 90s. He has this beautiful gut. He's also known as Earthquake, also known as I think he might have been the Shockmaster.
But all weird kind of sexual innuendos and stuff.
Put it this way. You talk to Doom about Gutbusters, and 90% sure he will put up the tugboat meme. So it's a wrestling meme, not an adult only type.
Fair enough. I'm glad we clarified that because I would have had to. Really
I'm going to send it to you right now. So if you want to hear from,
that's even better. We're going to add that meme to the calendar.
It'd be the front page. Oh.
All right. On that note, guys, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for everyone who's been on the stream, either currently now, Andrew, Danye, Randy, Liam, Aussie Wargamer, Travis, Elisabeth, Paul, Doom of Darkness. Have I missed anybody?
No, you've nailed it.
Thank you for everyone who's been on the stream and on the chat. Guys, you've been an absolute pleasure. I hope you all have lots of fun practicing for your games, learning lots of lessons. I hope your lists get submitted perfectly, and I can't wait to meet everybody. Make sure on the Friday you do come to the Caratel, where we're going to have a barbecue. I'm sure we find somewhere to kind of promote the event, but it'd be great to meet everybody before the big event.
Excited. Peace, guys.
Hey, guys.
Thanks, everyone.